Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression. We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
And a very good afternoon to you, and welcome here to Glennon Brothers Pierce Park in Longford for the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 final, and it is between Cavan and Roscommon. My name is Killian Whelan, and we're bringing you the best of the action over the next couple of hours. Joining me as always is Elaine Aylward, probably one of the most travelled women in Ireland this weekend. Elaine, your next stop is here in Longford. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, massive weekend, Killian, for Camogie, and look, it's great to be involved and hopefully get to see 3 divisional finals before I finish the weekend. So look, delighted to be involved, and we've had some crackers the last 2 days, so I'm sure today will be no different.
Looking at these two sides, Cavan, we know it was one of the stories of 2020, returning to inter-county camogie action, and then contesting 2 national finals, and really, as we said, causing some headlines.
Yeah, returning with a bang to inter-county camogie. Had a huge run through the Nancy Murray Cup last year and came up then to play in the Premier Junior and met today's opposition, Roscommon, in that semi-final and really blew them away that day. And as you said, contested the Premier Junior All-Ireland final then against Armagh. Went under on that day, but not before putting up a huge performance.
Let's look at Cavan quickly. Obviously under Jimmy Greville, we know the Greville connections all around and the impact that they've had. Jimmy has stayed on with them obviously because he felt that they were on an upward curve, and they still seem to be heading that direction, especially when you're back contesting in the national final and unbeaten, of course. Yeah,
huge momentum behind them, and I know we spoke about it across different divisions. Like, that consistency is brilliant, and Cavan Camogie obviously on the up. It's something that people want to get involved in, and Jimmy being there bringing that professional setup is obviously massive to them. And I heard an interview with him during the week where he's talking about trying to get a second team going in Cavan. So from a team that weren't competing for so many years to be back and to have ambitions of having a second team, it's massive for Camogie and especially for Cavan Camogie.
Looking at Cavan as well, though, they have lost a few players from last year, so there's been a little bit of a change, but still some of the key figures that are having an impact. They've obviously, cemented themselves as leaders within that unit and are able now to be able to bring and encourage others to join the setup ultimately.
Yeah, I think, look, once you win in a year like they did last year, that carries huge momentum, and alright, you can lose a couple of players, but the experience of having winning and even having competed up the grade then to compete at the Premier Junior, that's massive. So the players that did get to play across those grades last year will obviously carry that experience into this year, and look, a national final is obviously a huge moment for them again, and if they could get a win here, it'll bring huge momentum into the championship as well.
Let's turn to Roscommon. Roscommon are a side that have always, at the Premier Junior level, have knocked on the door. They've been in 2 finals in the last 7 years, have lost both of them, have won All-Irelands though at underage level, which I would imagine has impacted on today's team. They've brought Frank Brown in. He seems to have unified them again a little bit, and there's a lot of players back in the setup, and that probably verifies then with everything that they're qualifying for a national final and also unbeaten.
Yeah, and when you're knocking on the door for a while, sometimes it takes something different, just a different spark, a different voice maybe that gets you up to that stage of just knocking through that door, and perhaps Frank will prove that for Roscommon this year. They're obviously hurting from last year. They lost to Cavan in last year's All-Ireland semi-final, and I think it was probably a sickening defeat enough for them. They cruised maybe maybe away a little bit through a shortened season and got to the All-Ireland semi-final, and then Cavan with momentum behind them came up and probably surprised them. I think Roscommon will be disappointed. They never really got going in that game and suddenly found themselves out of the championship. So, you know, they've probably carried that hurt, like Cavan have carried the momentum of winning last year. Roscommon have probably carried the hurt of last year, and look, they'll look to right that wrong here today.
Yeah, righting the wrongs. Well, we'll wait and see how that all gets underway. We will be, of course, getting underway with the action from 2 o'clock, so make sure you do stick around for us. But we're going to take a quick break, and after that we'll hear from both camps, so do stay tuned.
Our game's about style. We forge our own path forward. Because our style is substance.
The face you see on screen is Jimmy Greville, the Cavan manager. Jimmy, back in a national final, it just goes to show you Cavan Camogie continues on its upward curve.
Yeah, it's great. Like, you know, like as we've always done, is take game by game, and this is another one today. Like, it's a great day for it, you know. But it's good. The girls are ready, they're raring to go now. You know, it's what you play for is to be in finals, you know. So hopefully we'll give it a good lash.
Jimmy, you know, it's gone so well for you so far. You had a tough game the last day out, but you know, everything has gone in train. You've introduced a few new faces this year and everything, but you've kept momentum.
Definitely, yeah, I know, but see, the hunger is there, like, you know what I mean, like, success breeds success, like, you know, and last year it was a huge uptake after winning the Nancy Murray, you know, and it is, like, as a credit to the girls, like, they worked hard there at the beginning of the year on their own, you know, and which is was a very hard thing to do, and they come back with the appetite again, which was great, and we just set our goals, and we hit one of them by achieving today to be here today now, and another one now just to make sure we get into Division 3 for next year. Yeah, is that an important step? Do you think that you know? Do you think it would be a bump in the road if you weren't to get promoted? It's all progression, like, you know what I mean. We're here today. One thing is to make sure we get a performance. If we get a performance, we'll be thereabouts, like, you know what I mean. And the end goal would be obviously to get up, you know, to Division 3, because you want to be playing, you know, better opposition, tougher opposition and stuff like that all the time, because that's how you improve, like, you know. And like we came through the round games easy enough in a way, you know. We pulled away in the second half and stuff like that in most of the games, but it's like, you want to be up there playing the higher quality teams and stuff like that, and that's how Cavan are going to get to improve, is by playing better opposition, like. And you're up against an opposition that probably will be thinking something similar, that they're probably better than where they are at the moment. So this potentially is to be your toughest game so far. Definitely. I take no credit away from last week against Mayo. Like, Mayo come out and it was a different animal altogether. And even I was watching their game with Roscommon as well. It was the exact same thing. Like, you know, like, our toughest game, both teams have got so far, was Mayo. Like, but today is going to be like they have introduced girls that weren't there last year, you know, Niamh Coyle and Sean Afad, a few of the girls, like top class camogie players, like, you know, and they're going to take minding, but like, we can't, never have and never will worry about the opposition. It's our camp, make sure that we're right and raring to go, and once we are, you know what I mean, if they beat us, they would have did well, like, you know, and that's just the way it is, the way that we're looking at it, game by game, quarter by quarter, and we'll go from there, like. Wish you the best of luck, Jimmy. Thanks a million, lads. Thank you. Hello. Face you see on camera is Frank Brown, of course, manager of the Roscommon Camogie team. Frank, you've come into this setup. You've obviously found a crew that really wanted to inject themselves in the right direction again, and have proven it by getting to a national final. Yeah, that's a really good way of summing it up, I suppose. You know, we were just speaking, coming up along here this morning. This day 2 months ago, the 20th of April, kind of, we all came out of lockdown and we had our first training session. So I suppose at that stage we were getting to know each other's names and who we were, and so we've come a long way in that, you know. But it's been really enjoyable. All the girls have kind of bought into what we're trying to achieve, and that's the key to it, you know. And I find that at all levels of management, be it kind of under 10s up along, if you can get a bunch of people who love the game, buy into what you're going to achieve, you can go where you want to. How have you found it? Because you're a man obviously that has coached teams across a number of different codes, but coming in and finding these Roscommon crew, what have you thought of them? I've loved it because, you know, like, I suppose I live in Ballyhonus and East Mayo, and like, what hurling people all over the country and camogie people all over, there's always a little die-hard group of fundamentalist hurling people or camogie people, and that was really strong, you know. There's a huge hurling tradition in that area, kind of in South Roscommon there. It's bordering on the real hurling hinterlands of East Galway as well, so hurling is a very strong game. A lot of these girls are playing for clubs that is, you know, hurling and camogie only, no football at all, so you know, these are die-hard good people, you know. And all I've really tried to do
I suppose with the little bit of experience that I've managed to gain from working with other teams, is just put a bit of shape and a bit of structure and a bit of discipline, and we'll go out and we'll hurl and we'll see where that takes us.
Roscommon are a team that have competed in national finals at Premier Junior level, haven't got over the line as such. They've won a couple of underage All-Irelands in recent times as well. You know, are they heading back maybe in the right direction? Because you seem to have galvanised a set of crew. There's some that haven't played Camogie for Roscommon for a few years back in harness. You know, is it all heading in the right direction?
I hope so, yeah, because I suppose one of the first targets I set myself was this: anybody who could and who would and who can play for the county, I kind of gave a commitment that I was going to pick up the phone and physically talk to them and ask them and just, you know, tell them who I was, tell them what I was going to try and achieve, and ask them would they buy into that little bit of a dream that I had. You know, and in fairness, the majority did. You're always going to get people who don't, but that's okay too, you know, because I would rather have, you know, we've an extended panel of 36 people. They're fully committed to what we're trying to achieve, and that makes life so much easier and so much more enjoyable for the girls too. You know, like they went through a couple of rough years where I suppose maybe they lost their way a little bit, but please God, we're finding it now.
Final question to you, Frank. It's probably going to be your toughest game. You're up against a Cavan side, of course, that probably wrote some of the headlines of 2020 Camogie season last year. So, you know, it's no mean task out here today now.
This is going to be absolutely, you know, it's going to go right down to the wire. There's absolutely no doubt about that. There's only going to be a puck of a ball or two in it. You know, pitches in great, Nick's lovely, fine, sunny day. You know, God created hurling and Camogie to be played on days like this. You know, like this, isn't it brilliant? You know, we've had 15, 16 months of lockdown. We're in a national final on a fine sunny day. Where else would you want to be?
Our game's about style. We forge our own path forward. Because our style is substance.
And a very good afternoon again, and welcome back here to Glennon Brothers Pierce Park in Longford. And a gorgeous sunny day, and there is the cup that they're all looking to play for. That, of course, is the Division 4 League Trophy. It will be fought out between Cavan and Roscommon, and all that coming in the next couple of minutes. The whistle there from referee Aaron Hogg, he of County Clare, and giving us his whistle there in preparation to get the teams in location for the game, which is moments away, and also Oran Naveen. So both teams getting into position now. Had the last few words there from their management teams. So wherever you're watching, let us know. We are live on the Littlewoods GA Twitter account and the Camogie Association YouTube page. So we've 1 minute there to Oran Naveen. We might throw up both teams and be able to give you to them quickly because there's changes on both. 2 for Cavan and 1 for Roscommon. So the team there, as you can see, Cavan lining out then with Laura Bambrick of Castletara in goal. Quiva Clark, Aideen Coyle and Lauren Ellis will be the full back line. The half backs of Rosie Crow McKeever, Erin Galligan the captain, and Isha O'Reilly. They're the half-backs. Now, coming in wearing number 28 is Ciara Finnegan. She replaces Tina Riley, and she'll play alongside Josephine Maguire. It's Clodagh Keenan, Shanice Fitzsimons and Sinead McKenna, the half-forward line. And the full forward line, there's one change. Niamh Keenan joins her sister in the team. She replaces Emer Fitzpatrick. It's Orla Smith and Niamh Riley. For Roscommon then, they are lining out here this afternoon with one change in their team. Number 19, Alicia Lenihan, comes in for Niamh Conway. We'll pause and give you that team in a minute as we take Oran Naveen. So we get ready for the national final, and then the Roscommon team. Michaela Fallon will be in goal, Chloe White-Lennon, Niamh Farrell, Emer McNally full back line, Rachel Dolan, Joanne Beattie and Alicia Lennon coming in for Niamh Conway, Niamh Watson and Rachel Fitzmaurice at centre field, Anya O'Mara, Niamh Coyle the captain, and Rebecca Brennan the half forwards, and it's Kelly Hopkins, Niamh Crean and Leah Rowe will be the full forward line. Now we do believe there will be a few positional switches, but we'll keep an eye on that as we go along. Of course, it's the Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final. And joining me on commentary is Elaine Aylward. And Elaine, gorgeous sunny day here in a well turned out Glennon Brothers Pierce Park.
Absolutely perfect conditions for Camogie. You know, slight little breeze there, maybe blowing from left to right, but nothing that's going to impact either of the two teams. But surface absolutely perfect, and two teams primed and ready to go. And I think we're in for a really, really exciting and close game.
Yeah, Frank has left his troops there, and it's just all about the Roscommon girls at the moment now as our cameras pick them up there just down to our right hand side. And gorgeous day here in Longford Town. The town off to our left hand side, and the scoreboard end here of Pierce Park will be defended by Roscommon in this game. Now there is fairly, if you saw the breeze there on the flags before the throw in, there's a substantial enough breeze, but it seems to be swirling in that corner here because, as we know, we have a stand, I suppose, on a length and a half of the ground here.
Yeah, and expect to see a lot of action, I think, on this side of the field, maybe down to our right hand side here into that corner, and maybe a little bit difficult for free takers into that bottom goal, but look, two really experienced free takers, so I'm sure they'll have no problems with that.
Right, ball is in anyway from Aaron Hogg, and it's Roscommon. They get on the attack straight away with Rachel Fitzmaurice playing the ball across to Niamh Watson, but it's got away from the St Dominic's player, and Cavan return it into the half back line, but it's out coming charging forward here at the moment, the number 14 Orla Smith, but she's lost control of that, and back there trying to get possession was Anya O'Mara. Anya has 10 in her back, but looks like she'll be lining up in the half back line. Alicia Lennon will be the player that's come in there for Niamh Conway. She will end up in the half forwards by the looks of things, but it's a free for Roscommon, and it's going to be cleared here by Niamh Farrell, the Athletic woman, dropping it down the left hand side then, where there's a sizable enough crowd, and it's great to see crowds at matches, isn't it, Elaine?
Brilliant to have the crowd back, and even in Ashburn yesterday it was so unusual to hear the shouting and stuff. You're used to being in a stadium on your own, I suppose, for the last couple of months, but to have the crowd back, and I think it's brilliant for the girls, especially for national finals, to have that bit of familiar support from the stands.
Niamh Keenahan there wearing number 29. Of course, she was named among the subs along with Ciara Finnegan. Dual players, of course, have had a busy few weeks. They're in to start though today in place of Tina Riley and Emer Fitzpatrick. Ciara from Crosserlaw, and of course Niamh joining her sister Clodagh from Lara. And again, the aforementioned Niamh Keenan tried to clear that, but ball is blocked away. And it was the player that came in. It was announced yesterday evening that she was going to be starting, Alicia Lennon. She's just down below us. You might be able to pick her out just because of the way the pitch comes in under the terrace here a little bit, but we'll keep you notified of who it is as the ball breaks for the Roscommon half back line. A little bit overcooked there by Joanne Beattie, and it's going to be returned here by Niamh Keenahan, who's probably touched the ball the most of anyone now in the opening stages. Gives a lovely ball across though. Niamh Riley uses her body well, but then getting back there, Chloe White-Lennon to disrupt her, and then looking to get inside, looks to be getting a free. The advantage is being played, and no advantage accruing, so it's going to be a free, an opportunity, and you'd have to say Niamh Riley played well there.
Yeah, super ball in initially and hopped on the right side for the corner forward, did really well. I suppose she's not the biggest player in stature in there, but held off her defender really, really well, won the free, knew she had it won, and put up her hand more or less to the ref to say, I'll take that, thanks very much.
Sunscreen being applied here in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park in Longford. I'll tell you how it'll be. We're waiting for the man to come through with the chalk ices now, and we'll be all sorted as this free is taken, and the shout over on the far side. He's obviously a Cavan supporter.
He gave us the indication long before the white flag went up that one was going over the bar, and look, a nice, easy enough free, I suppose, to start off with, and great for Cavan to get them on the scoreboard. Yeah,
Clodagh Keenahan with that free then, and putting that ball over the bar here in the early stages. Got a point from a free in the semi-final, and she's got one here in the opening stages of this encounter. Just 3 minutes gone. Cavan are on the scoreboard, and on the ball here now Sinead McKenna, one of the star players and one of the Littlewoods ambassadors as well, that we have seen an awful lot of the Littlewoods promotional material the last while, as she goes for a shot from a tight angle, but it's gone across the goal and it's gone to the left and wide. Cavan, not afraid to shoot on sight in some ways too.
No, and probably maybe not the right option on that occasion. We had worked really, really well, Sinead McKenna, to get down into that corner, but maybe a little bit better option would have to play that one across the field and just keep it in play maybe and give her inside full forward line something to work with.
Sinead got 4 points in that win against Mayo. Tough enough encounters, we heard from manager Jimmy Greville, although they kicked on the second half to win easy enough in the end, 3-12 to 7 points. But just looking at the game so far, Elaine, really you'd be judging both teams by their Tyrone game and the semi-final for Roscommon, and in the group stages for Cavan, 3 and 4 points respectively between them.
Yes, it's probably the best indicator we have of the two teams. They've avoided one another in the group stages to this, so that Tyrone game is the one in common. And look, as you said, two really tough games, and they both came out of it just by the small margins, so it bodes well for what's to come today.
Centre back Aaron Galligan then back there helping out her defence, and as captain taking a captain's role and getting that ball clear and away from Nicky Crean. Cavan on the attack now. Lovely little hand pass to Claudia Keenan, standing in the middle of the field over the 65, looking to step inside the Roscommon defence. Bit of a knock on the arm there, and Aaron Hogg has given her an advantage. Ball is played inside, might work out now. Keenan, that's Niamh Keenan trying to get on that ball, also in there trying to get on a Claudia. The ball is flicked out here, and nothing came of the advantage, so now we have an advantage for Roscommon. Tried to be clever with it there, Josephine Maguire. It would have been lovely if it come off. I think the grass is just a little bit fluffy, and it didn't hop up her, but she has the advantage, and it's going to be a free for Roscommon. This, of course, the Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final. We saw victories yesterday for Wexford and also for Down. So we have Ulster and Leinster represented. Could we have a Connacht winner here today? Well, there might be another Ulster representative. May have a say about that, as that ball is flicked in there, and it's come all the way through to Laura Bambrick. Of course, Laura, busy household down in County Kilkenny today. Laura, goalkeeper for Cavan, and her sister Miriam will be playing with Kilkenny in Croke Park later on. And I'd say there's all sorts of Hail Marys and everything being said today in the Bambrick household.
A lot of candles lit maybe at Mass this morning around the Paulstown area, but super for Bambricks to have both players involved in national finals on the one day.
I'm sure there was messages flying between both sisters today anyway, as the ball goes over on the far side. McKenna trying to keep it in play, and she does that well, but getting a good block on it is Niamh Watson. Ball down along the far side, going strong, and it goes out off of the Cavan player. And the Cavan corner forward, Niamh Riley, says that should have been our ball, but linesman on that side fairly adamant it was a Roscommon ball. And Primrose and Blue looking to clear this line here at the moment as Cavan continue to lead by a point to no score. We have just over 6 minutes of action here. Glennon Brothers Pierce Park in Longford, well turned out, but everywhere looking well in sunshine. Gorgeous day here in the Midlands venue as Galligan gets across there to take that ball away from Niamh Coyle. The two captains coming together, and it's the Cavan captain that wins out. And lovely bit of play as Cavan played this ball across, but it's cut out here by Anya O'Mara. Might have 10 in her back, as we said, that position switch because of Alicia Lennon coming in. Has her in the half back line. Driving forward with it now is Niamh Watson. Watson dropping a dangerous ball inside, all the way through to Bambrick. Bambrick has her eyes on it, gives it out here to Galligan, lets it slip out of her grasp though. Galligan has been tracked all the way there by Leroy. Over on the far side now, Isha O'Reilly, across the law player, knocking it down along the wing, but it's Cavan that have given it away. Lovely little flick inside now. Opportunity for Kelly Hopkins to have a shot, but unfortunately she's pulled it to the left and wide. Lovely little flick inside, it would have deserved a point.
Yeah, super little ball across, and the play has been up and down the field on occasion, and both teams maybe a little bit disappointed that they don't have a score to show for the end of it, but Roscommon have shown that when they can get up there, they are capable of taking shots from distance, and that one on the occasion just drifted out to the left and wide.
So Kelly Hopkins, one of those that have returned to the Roscommon setup. Frank Brown seems to have worked the oracle in getting a number of players back, and a talented crew, of course, Roscommon, who have won All-Ireland underage titles at minor and under 16 level in recent years. Ball is flighted in. Bambrick has it again. It hopped up overhand, but she has it the second time of asking, being troubled there by Nicky Crean, but the ball is out here, and it's a Roscommon free, says the referee, and a chance then for Roscommon to get on the scoreboard here. I'd imagine Leah Rose, the one that's going to step up. She got 1-7 in the league semi-final, and 2 of them came from place balls, so she's well able to hit the frees as well. So Wind kind of swirling in that corner there, even though the flag suggests it's across the field. It's tight to that left-hand upright, but she seems to have done, has she? No, umpire was right behind it. I thought it had wheeled in, but it's another wide there for Roscommon.
Yeah, and disappointing, probably not the easiest to freeze, as we said, to judge the wind, but one that maybe Roscommon would have liked to have scored, and just to get themselves on the scoreboard and get things ticking over.
Bambrick with the puck out then, flicked away though from the attention there of Rosie Crow-McKeever. Galligan on a lot of ball in the early stages, picked up by Lauren Ellis. Ellis tries to flick it outside, is picked up by Josephine Maguire. The Ballina player, of course, Jewel Star as well, flicking it down the field, and it's Cavan that come driving on it now, looking to go a little bit better maybe than the lady footballers did, of course, losing their league semi-final, trying to take the league title here today as they step inside with Niamh Keenan, another Jewel player. The Lara woman taking it on now, had to come back out on her right hand side. Clash of the Ashes, a break, a hurl there, ball is inside, but it's turned over the bar, and it's the two ladies that have come into the setup, linking up there quite well, and that's a good score.
Super, really well worked score right from the back with Erin Galligan. Lovely little bit of interplay out around the field, hand passes at the right time, and eventually found the player in their best position, and a super little tap over the bar, and a good score for Cavan, and a great response to Roscommon's chance at the far side.
So on the scoreboard it's 2 points to no score in favour of Cavan. Just coming up on 10 minutes gone, and it's been all Cavan, although Roscommon, well, they're there toe-to-toe with them, just haven't converted it on the scoreboard. Lovely little take by Hopkins. Flicks it out here now to Rebecca Brennan. Brennan on the bit of a charge here now. The two Athleague women have led up on together. Could Athleague be able to put Roscommon in front? Bambrick had to be careful. That ball could have just dipped inside it, just out to the left and wide.
Yeah, Bambrick was at full stretch there to watch that one just go out to the wide, but I'm not so sure she was so confident that it was going wide. And that's been Roscommon's downfall really so far, is that they've won good ball around the middle of the field, but just maybe not taking the right options inside. And Marion Bambrick has been busy in the Cavan goal so far, but no real shots. A lot of them are long aimless balls in.
Wides on 8, 9 and 10 now for Roscommon, and they are still behind here by 2 points to no score. Getting on the ball now is Anya O'Mara, but she's cut off there. And this is a right encounter so far, and it looks like we had two crackers yesterday. We look like we're going to be served up one here as well today. It's getting on to this now is Quiva Clark. Clark, good way forward from her, where her number 2 shirt says, but her numbers mean nothing anymore as this ball is flicked forward. In there, marking the Roscommon full-back, Niamh Farrell, is Sinead McKenna. Ball breaks, and it looked like it was going to be Rachel Dolan that came away with that ball. It's on the ground though. Referee is not too far away from it if he wants to keep an eye on it. Aaron Hogg would be known to both of these teams because he refereed Roscommon against Mayo and refereed Cavan against Mayo, so they'll know his style so far. With the ball over on the far side, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Roscommon. It's still Cavan at lead though by 2 points to no score. The Nancy Murray Cup winners from last year, also the Premier Junior A finalists, and definitely one of the stories of 2020. I'm just waiting on referee to explain to the players to get away from immediacy of the ball standing too close as the sideline cut comes. Not a great connection, but Roscommon looked like they had maintained possession and now have lost it. It's all a little bit too tight there as trying to take it out is Orla Smith. Smith over on the very sideline. Ball is inside, it could work out. Here's Keenan, 1-on-1 with the shot. Ball breaks off the keeper. It's still there, it's gone out for a 45. Niamh Keenan, you'd have to credit Michaela Fallon, just rushed out there as quick as she could, and she did enough to disrupt Niamh Keenan.
Yeah, super ball across in the first place from Orla Smith, well taken inside, and looked like it was going to be finished low to the net, but as you said, credit Michaela Fallon, quick out off the line and got her body there, and happy to see that ball drift out for a 45, but a great save, and it's certainly a let off for Roscommon.
No question about it, it's going to be a 45, tight to that left hand upright it will be. It's an unusual stroke that Niamh has. Comes across the body, has the hurl directed up high, has Clodagh, I should say, and she knocks that ball over the bar. So her sister earned the 45 and Clodagh puts it over. Yeah,
good teamwork up front from Cavan. A lot of that came from the pressure that they kept on Roscommon there as they were trying to clear that last ball, and Roscommon had the sideline, couldn't handle it, and Cavan turned it over again and had that great chance, but happy to get the 45 and the point.
So close enough in possession stakes, but the scores are the difference ultimately.
Yeah, and look, Cavan just seem to be able to create something a little bit slicker up front at the moment. As I said, Roscommon are playing it well around the middle of the field, but just failing to finish up front.
Maguire is on a strong run here now. She's trying to be stopped. She steps back, being tackled all the way there. Or I should say Fitzmaurice. It was getting back, trying to disrupt her there. Was Maguire is still on the charge here though. Rebecca Brennan. Brennan, back out it goes here to Hopkins. Hopkins going to have a shot to the right and wide. Unfortunately, even in these early stages, wide's mounting out for Roscommon.
Yeah, and look, that one was probably a better build-up and lovely ball played back out by Nicola Crean, and nice pass out and probably deserved of a score. And look, as the clock ticks on, you just feel that Roscommon need to get on the scoreboard just to get something to get the motoring up front.
Better give a shout out to our man Darren Kelly. He was busy with you yesterday in Ashbourne, watching today, Darren. Don't forget you can check him out on sportsstars.ie as the ball breaks up at the far end, and it's going to be picked up by Orla Smith, but referee says that she was committing a foul there on the Roscommon defender. It's going to be a chance then, and it would look like Niamh Farrell is stepping forward to take this free. The Athletic woman driving it down the wing. Might work out now for her clubmate Rebecca Brennan. Brennan looking to step inside, but have to say Caoimhe Clark has been all over the pitch at the early stages, isn't she?
Absolutely, yeah. As you said, number 2 on her back, but certainly not sticking into that left corner back position.
Oh, this could work out now. Crean looking to get inside, got 3 points the last day. The 4 Roads player looking to step around, has to shorten the grip though to knock it back out. Didn't really work out, but the hop might work though for Kelly Hopkins. Hopkins going to have a shot. Roscommon are on the scoreboard. It took a little bit of effort, but finally, after 15 minutes, they have got on the board.
Yeah, and it was a really good score when it did come. Erin Gallagher, I suppose, would be disappointed maybe that she didn't deal with the ball coming across the square from Crean a little bit better, but Kelly Hopkins certainly pounced on the opportunity, and that's the kind of finishing that Roscommon will need up front rather than some of the wides that they've been shooting to this point.
Mayor Cavan is on for Roscommon to try and get a new hurley over to the far side of the field as Cavan tried to come on that kick puck out there from Bambrick. Ball breaking through. Isha O'Reilly looking to flick it on here, looking to step inside Claudia Keenan. Keenan 2 points to her name of Cavan's 3, but it's cut out there by Niamh Farrell. Farrell knocking it down along this wing now, going to be dropping over the head of the Cavan defender Erin Gallagher, but the ball is flicked inside now. Josephine Maguire was there alongside Niamh Coyle. Ball is over on the far side now. Maybe Roscommon might go into this game. Leah Rowe looking to flick the ball inside. Flicks up a little bit high for Nikki Crean, but she has it at the second time. Vaskin had to shorten the grip, but 2 Cavan defenders around her and an opportunity for Gallagher to step back into the pocket and flick the ball down the far side. Ball looking to turn inside. Lovely little spin there by the number 11 for Cavan, Shanice Fitzsimons, down at the wing. Lovely ball, lovely one touch being played here by Cavan. Sinead McKenna, this would be something else, but it's cut out there by Joanne Beattie. Read that very well, the Dominic's player. Ball is on the ground though. Cavan still have it now, Roscommon have it, and it looks like it's going to be cleared by Farrell, the Athletic lady, stepping out then and dropping it out here to the centre back position. Roscommon now looking to build on a little bit of confidence of that score, taking it on the charge here now as the Roscommon number 8 Watson looking to step away from 2 Cavan players. Lovely bit of play though there by Clark, but it looked like it was a foul by Keenan, and the referee said it's going to be a free in. Niamh Watson with a strong purposeful run there.
Yeah, super run right from the back, played a lovely little ball out from her centre back and carried it the whole way in. Credit to Cavan, they tracked her the whole way, and probably a little bit unlucky that when they most of the hard work done, there was just a clash of legs there and the Roscommon player going to ground, and a chance now for a free.
Great to see a crowd in here from down to our left hand side. I don't know if we get a camera shot later on, but there's a nice crowd in from both Cavan and Roscommon. Good to see them here, I suppose, out for a bit of a drive on a Sunday afternoon. They end up in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park in Longford watching a league final. As Leah Rowe has this shot now, dropping it in towards those uprights and up and over the bar, and all of a sudden, for all of everything, as we take a water break here, Roscommon, probably the water break come too soon for them. Yeah,
they were just starting to find their flow. I suppose they had struggled maybe to get on the scoreboard for that first kind of 10-12 minutes maybe, but then like the buses, when they do come, they come all at once, and they've 2 points, and I think they'll be very happy to only be that point down as they go into the water break. Cavan, on the other hand, probably dominated a lot of the play and looked to be able to get their scores that little bit easier in the opening couple of minutes, but credit to Roscommon, they've knuckled down at the back and cut out a lot of the opportunity. So I said a lot of ball being played around the middle of the field, and while Roscommon did have a lot of the possession, a lot of it was aimless wides for that first 10 minutes.
I understand that this is a Division 4 league final. We're looking at two sides that are probably, similar enough, whatever. But the skill out there and show, I'd have to say, would be, if they were playing a couple of divisions above, you give them credit too.
Yeah, some super interplay and great teamwork. You can tell that they're teams that have been on the road together for a while, and great little bit of interplay between them, and a real purpose to what they're doing and how they're attacking. And it's super. I don't think it matters what the division is. You're in a national final. I think the skill level across all 4 divisions this weekend is obviously going to be massive, and no different here today in Longford.
As you can see then, on the water break, everyone out, short sleeves, shorts in some places. I thought about it this morning, didn't think it was going to be like this up here. It was turned into a gorgeous day in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park here in Longford for this Littlewoods National Camogie League Division 4 final between Roscommon and Cavan. And it's live on the Littlewoods GA Twitter account and also on the Camogie Association YouTube channel. And don't forget, coming up at 7:30 this evening, if you haven't bought a ticket and you aren't heading to Crow Park, it will be live on RTÉ TV. Elaine Aylward, a busy lady, on stream duty yesterday and today, and will be on duty with Marty later on TV.
Yeah, so if you see me heading down the N4 or M4 there, at a little bit of pace later on, maybe just move aside. Look, what a complaint to have in the sunshine, being able to take in camogie matches all over the country and to see the standard of games. And as you said, 2 really good games yesterday. Cavan and Roscommon have started that trend again today, and I've no doubt Kilkenny and Galway will finish it out this evening. So a massive weekend for camogie, and as I said, just delighted to be involved and to be able to get to the games.
Don't know if this lady will be heading to Crow Park later on, but she'll be cheering on her sister, because Laura Bambrick, the Cavan goalkeeper, of course, as we mentioned already, sister of Miriam Bambrick, will be lining out with Kilkenny, about to take this puck out now after the water break that saw Cavan lead by 3 points to 2. It drops in the middle and it's taken well by Sinead McKenna, the cross-the-law player, looking to step inside now. This will be an early start for Cavan after the water break. That looked to be a charge there by Keenan. It definitely had to be, led with the shoulder, no doubt about it. Going to be a free and probably a yellow card here.
Yeah, you could see what Cavan were trying to do, and the overlap was coming there from that brilliant take from the puck out. But unfortunately for Clodagh Keenan, she just went straight through the Roscommon player and going to find herself in the referee's notebook here.
Yeah, yellow card there for Clodagh Keenan. She's already had 2 points on the board, but she led with the shoulder into the front of the Roscommon player there, who's down injured now at the moment. And Clodagh being a busy enough player here in the early stages. A little bit of a stoppage now as the Roscommon player is tended to. Up on her feet a bit gingerly, and just got to be careful now with all kind of clashes that come towards the face or head in all sport and codes. But it is Rachel Fitzmaurice that's up and okay, and it's her clubmate Niamh Farrell that's going to send this ball over towards another athletic player in Rebecca Brennan, but in fact it gets all the way to Leah Rowe, and Rowe comes onto this ball now with 2 Cavan players in her wake. Rowe had to hit it on the fly then, and unfortunately it could have got in. Nikki Crean had just stepped inside. The ball had got through, she was 1-on-1.
Yeah, what a super take there from the Cavan defence. Did really, really well to get a hand to that ball and avert a certain goal. As I said, Nikki Crean had gone through and had that ball broken through. She was in 1-on-1 with Miriam Bambrick, so a let off there.
Aideen Coyle clears that ball then down along the wing now. It's a bit of a race between the backs and the forwards here. Oh, lucky coming onto a cross ball is McKenna. McKenna looking to flick this ball off now. Here's an opportunity for Fitzpatrick. Going to have a shot off. It's in the back of the net there. It's Finnegan, in fact, I should say, has put that ball to the back of the net. And that was made by Sinead McKenna, the way that she just slalomed through on that ball there.
Yeah, and how games turn, from a chance at one side, and Cavan turned the attack straight, or the defence straight into attack. Super run through the middle by Sinead McKenna. You could see she had nothing on her mind, only goal. Thought maybe the pass came a little bit behind her, a little bit too late, but it didn't, and superbly finished, and a stretch for now for Cavan.
Yeah, so it's Niamh Keenan that got that goal. Apologies, I was just looking at the number quickly there on the back. It wasn't 28, it was 29. And she's put Cavan now back in probably a position that they just about deserve. And they've responded well after the water break, and obviously whatever words Jimmy Greville had to say.
Yeah, and look, I suppose we've spoken about it a couple of times across different codes and different streams, how the water break can pause momentum, and we mentioned just before that Roscommon were just starting to find their groove, and maybe the water break gave Jimmy and the Cavan backroom team a chance just to settle down again and reboot themselves before mounting a response to the Roscommon couple of points just before the water break. And look, a goal is going to be a huge score in any game, and it certainly looks to be a huge one here now today.
Stoppage to play over on the far side again. It's the Keenahan show anyway so far. Clodagh with 2 points from place balls, a free after 3 and a 45 after 13. Interspersed in that, Ciara Finnegan had a point as well, but Niamh Keenahan then with the goal there after lovely bit of play there by Sinead McKenna. Ball played across, lovely, just came onto it on a diagonal run and was able to play it inside. Then eventually the ball ended up in the back of the net from Niamh Keenahan. And here is Clodagh Keenahan then with, as we said, her unusual style, but it seems to work for her in lining this up from the 65, dropping this ball in. Dangerous ball now. It's on the edge of the square in the sun and everything, and it breaks away. Trying to get over there and make sure she wins it is Emer McNally. And down along the wing it goes, but using her body well to shepherd that there was Josephine Maguire. Inside it goes to Sinead McKenna. The Crossalaw player stepping inside. Sinead McKenna puts it up good and high. It's going to drop though, keeping the hurl up to watch the sun. Michaela Farrell gets it out here then to her midfielder, Niamh Watson. The Dominic's player though has to play it along the ground. Cavan, the forwards, playing very, very well as a defensive unit, interrupting the Roscommon defence. And here goes McKenna again, jinking left, jinking right. Ball is back out. Going to be a shot coming in from Keenahan. Dropping it in and over the bar. That was good, persistent defensive play by the Cavan forwards.
Yeah, and I think Roscommon will be disappointed they didn't deal with that better from the initial shot in. It looked dangerous dropping into the goalie in the full back with the sun in their eyes, but dealt with that, but just couldn't get a proper clearance in. As you said, the Cavan forwards working so hard inside, and again, really powerful run from Sinead McKenna and led to that pass off and another score.
A good score from a Cavan point of view anyways. Here they go again. Shot coming in now from McKenna, dropping in on top of the goalkeeper there. Ball is dropped out though to the left and wide.
Yeah, and suddenly from seeing a lot of Laura Bambrick in the Cavan goal, we're seeing a lot more Michaela Fallon in the Roscommon goal, and I think Cavan just starting to get a foothold around the middle of the field now and looking to make that count on the scoreboard.
1-4-2, Ciara Finnegan with her second score then. The latest score in this game as the ball drops away from Niamh Watson, going to be picked up. Sinead McKenna has really become a thorn in the side of the Roscommon defence here at the moment.
Yeah, she's really grown into the game, and every time she gets on possession you can sense the crowd here, you can sense something about to happen, and whether it's her long runs or she's always looking to create something for the players inside her.
Rachel Fitzmaurice played very well there, but I think maybe just ran out a little bit of legs then and wasn't able to get that ball in, but she's got it on the return here. Might be an opportunity now to Roscommon to build on something. They badly need a score now just to tick along because they had played well just before the water break. Taking this on, Watson giving herself a little bit of space. Ball is dropping in now. Crean is in there. Ball is flicked away. Rose coming onto this ball. Opportunity maybe, has to play it along the ground. Crean with the shot. Ball is flicked away by Bambrick. There was an opportunity. Galligan still there, being big and strong, trying to get this ball out. Looked like she fouled the Cavan or the Roscommon forward there, but Galligan is still on this ball, being tracked all the way by Brennan. Has a couple of primrose and blue jerseys around her. Galligan's got to be careful here now. Goes to ground, has no one around her really. Roscommon looking to win it back, but on the fly then that shot is taken in by Lenihan, and she really should have just held on to that ball and recycled it. Yeah,
just a little bit of panic I think when she got into possession there. She had time to get that ball into her hand and maybe try and get it across the square, but certainly a let off for Cavan in defence there. Roscommon did everything right. The ball dropped on the ground inside by Nicky Crean and she pulled on it, made the right connection, but as I said again, credit to Marion Bambrick to Laura Bambrick, got down and got her body on the line.
Ball is played inside there by Niamh Coyle, dropping in. Bambrick has to take it down. That was a dangerous ball again, and Bambrick has cleared it. Out here it goes to Rosie Crowe McKeever, but it's been returned by Lenihan. Lenihan dropping it in. Crean is in underneath it. Rose in there as well. Ball breaks again to Bambrick, and you mentioned we were talking about Fallon a lot. All of a sudden Bambrick has been in right in the wars in the last few minutes.
Absolutely, it's swung right back in the other direction again, and it has been all Roscommon now since that last attack that Cavan had. And look, just the unfortunate thing is they're just failing to make a count on the scoreboard. I said they'll have another chance here now to keep the ball in, but really all they've got for their efforts down there so far is a couple of great saves out of Bambrick and a wide.
So Lenihan about to take this sideline cut, knocks it down along the wing, being urged to play it on there by Rebecca Brennan. Brennan looking to step inside her marker, has done very, very well. Rebecca Brennan on the end of the hurl, going to shorten the grip, knock it up and over the bar. Rebecca Brennan that took a little bit of leadership and everything like that. She demanded the sideline puck then from Lenihan, turned and put it over the bar.
Yeah, and that's what Roscommon need to see more of up front there. Huge determination to get on the ball and get that score and get that scoreboard ticking over for Roscommon. As I said, they've had, probably 50-50 possession now since the water break, but it's Cavan that have made a count on the scoreboard up to now.
Here come Cavan again though. They're strong, purposeful running off the shoulder, running at all stages. Ciara Finnegan is in a bit of space again, but the referee was playing an advantage for the Breffni women, and it's going to be a free from about 50 metres out into the scoreboard end here of Glennon Brothers Pierce Park, which is to our right hand side.
I think that's the real difference when Cavan do attack. Then when they get on the break, they always have the player coming off the shoulder and there's a pass to go over, or there's someone driving at the heart of the Roscommon defence and winning the frees.
So Clodagh Keenan with this opportunity then, as you can see. She has her own inimitable style. As this ball is dropped in though, it bounced away from Farrell, and Beattie wasn't expecting it, but she clears it out to the far side where it's going to be taken in by Fitzmaurice. Has to go back at the second time of asking, turning inside the attentions of Eve Riley. Got a shout from her corner back there. Chloe White-Lennon plays it down along into the break in the middle of the field now. Might suit the Roscommon women here as they come forward. Ball over towards Lenihan, but it's broken away there by Rosie Crow-McKeever. Looked like she had her hurl held, but the play goes on. Ball is across here. It's picked up by Anya O'Mara, but I think referee, in fairness, was allowing the advantage for that foul that was committed on Crow-McKeever, and it's going to be a free for Cavan. It's going along at a right hectic pace, isn't it?
It has, up and down the field, and in fairness to Erin Galligan, she's at the end of a lot of the Roscommon attacks there and looking for the outball on every occasion and looking to send Cavan on the attack.
1-4-3 then, as you can see on the scoreboard. It is the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 final. The cup sitting in front of us. Who will it be going with? Will it be Cavan or will it be Roscommon? It's a dangerous ball in. It had to be flicked away there by Farrell, and the ball is still breaking. Coming on to it now and trying to charge on was Ciara Finnegan. With the ball breaks and trying to get a swing in it there, Niamh Riley, but it's gone eventually back here to McKenna. Ball, lovely block on that there. I didn't know a whole lot about it. Was Chloe White-Lennon, and over on the far side coming out with it now was Watson. Watson is fouled, and it's going to be a free out. And again, Roscommon defence had to be a bit mean there.
Yeah, they have to be. They're coming under savage pressure from the Cavan forwards, in fairness up front there. Niamh Riley, as I said, not the biggest player there, but she's certainly holding up the Roscommon defence at any given opportunity. And, they've given away a couple of frees, but, sometimes that's what you want to see from your forwards. At least, they're putting in the tackles.
Oh, Roscommon knocking this ball down with Farrell. Ball hops away from Crow-McKeever, but she gets it back at the second time of asking, then fouled the ball there, apologises for it. She knew straight away what she had done, and it's going to be, should be a straightforward free for Roscommon, and I'd imagine it's going to be Leah Rowe.
Yeah, Crow-McKeever there with probably just too many options coming out. She'd Erin Galligan behind her and Josephine Maguire to her side, and just got caught between the two and ended up throwing it up to catch it. So chance now for Roscommon just to narrow the gap.
So here goes Rowe then with this opportunity. Gets good connection on it right over the black spot. Good score, and it puts them back to within a score of Cavan here.
Yeah, it just shows how big a score that goal is, I suppose. Cavan or Roscommon certainly going toe to toe with Cavan all over the field, and while they look at times that they're being outrun around the middle, they're still within touch and distance on the scoreboard, and that's all Frank Brown and his team will want.
Good flick there by Fitzmaurice. The ball is played down along the wing now to the lady who got a fine score a few minutes ago, Rebecca Brennan, looking to step inside. Isha O'Reilly took a shot on from an impossible angle though, and it wasn't really the one that was on. She probably should have done what she had done earlier, but in fairness, I think Isha O'Reilly wasn't going to be burned on the inside again. No,
fully aware that maybe if she rushed out on top for she was going to drop the shoulder and slip inside her, so did the right thing for her defender, kept the player outside her, forced her onto the back foot, and forced, as you said, an impossible shot from there.
That goal that came from Niamh Keenan came after 20 minutes. It was a lovely bit of play by Sinead McKenna. And a bit of a worry now for Jimmy Greville and his Cavan crew, and that one of their key players down injured at the moment. But Sinead McKenna burst onto that ball. Lovely diagonal run, and then offloaded the ball inside. And as Elaine said, looked like she had left it behind Niamh Keenan with the pass. But fairness, Keenan reacted and was able to put the ball beyond Michaela Farrell. Or Michaela Fallon, I should say. As Laura Bambrick pucks this ball out over to the far side to Aaron Galligan. Ball breaks there though, and Roscommon were trying to get in there, Niamh Coyle and Leah Rowe, but unfortunately for them, they fouled cornerback Lauren Ellis. And Cavan, maybe now with closing stages of this half, we're into additional time, whatever Aaron Hogg is about to play.
Yeah, and a bit of a let off for them there. They had put themselves under a little bit of pressure from their own puck out, and Roscommon looked to close in on them, so I think Cavan were lucky to get the free and alleviate the danger there.
Down on the far side, that ball breaks, trying to get in there, a bit of a clash across every. That looked like a bit of a wild pull. 3 players ended up in the ground out of all of that. That's an interesting one.
And it sounded a lot worse, I think, than it actually was. The crowd here reacted probably as if it was a lot worse, but credit to the 3 players, they hopped back up again, and one of those ones that maybe sounded worse than we actually thought
maybe
it was.
It was, yeah. With 2 Roscommon players and a Cavan player ended up on the ground, but it might work out here now from the free for Leah Rowe, looking to step in, shortens the grip, it's dropping in, but it's dropping to the right and wide, and that's something that Frank Brown, I'm sure, will raise at half time. Their wide count is killing them a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you see how economical Cavan have been at the far side, you know, maybe haven't had as much possession up front, but certainly anytime they get inside that 45, they're creating a score or a free, or, you know, creating something up front. Roscommon, on the other hand, have been guilty of a little bit of wayward shooting and maybe just taking the wrong option on occasion.
Yeah, wrong option. They have 7 wides. Cavan have 1. Cavan leading the scoreboard by 4-4. The goal that came after 20 minutes from Niamh Keenan. Ball is flicked down along the wing here now. Asking a lot of maybe Rebecca Brennan. The sideline wins the race, and it's going to be a Cavan ball.
Yeah, and that's just an example of it again, I suppose, is the economy of the ball up front and how they're using it. You know, Cavan have tended to use it a little bit better during this first half, and Roscommon probably a little bit guilty maybe of not taking the correct option too many times.
A sun-decked Glennon Brothers Pierce Park in Longford. It's the venue for the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 4 final between Cavan and Roscommon, and it is the Breffni County that lead at the moment by 4 points. We're live on Littlewoods GA Twitter account and also on the Camogie Association YouTube channel. This is, as I said, the Division 4 final. A little bit of a name check there for Alicia Lenihan. And it's going to be a free for Roscommon. We tick on here. Coming up now on the 3rd minute, or in the 3rd minute of additional time. As about to take this free now is Josephine Maguire. Josephine looking down the wing, because she got a shout there in the direction from Sinead McKenna, but it gets all the way through here to Orla Smith. Smith been a little bit quiet in the last few minutes. Ball played inside. That's a definite free. And a giveaway right in front of the referee. Claudia Keenan was coming on to it there, and just a push in the back from Joanne Beattie probably wasn't the right thing to do, especially in front of the ref.
No, in a pure panic, I think Claudia had found herself in a lot of space, was calling, demanding the ball across, and Joanne probably saw it at the last minute and just rushed up out on top of her just to cut off the ball over to her. But as you said, rushed out right on top of her back and in front of the referee, and no option but a free from there.
Ball is put over the bar then. And that's Claudia Keenan's 3rd score and the final score of this first half here. And it pushes Cavan out to that 4-point lead, 1-5-4. And I just see Frank Brown having a chat with Shauna Fallon there on the sideline, just in the final throws of that first half. And wouldn't be surprised maybe if he's thinking about a switch or two. Yeah,
probably looking for it to maybe make a switch or two just to try and get a foothold. Look, they seem to be coping admirably at the back from, you know, a lot of good pressure from the Cavan forwards, and alright, will have been disappointed to leak that goal, but up front they just haven't really clicked into anything at the moment. And well, they've had the possession, and it's probably, you know, equal enough on possession stats, but just up front they haven't been able to take the right options, and as you said, guilty of a couple of aimless wides out there.
Just see Roisin O'Keefe heading in here. It looks like she's on crutches here. Sure, it was her identified there, having a chat with one of the other Cavan players. Roisin, of course, named in both panels, ladies football and camogie, but not obviously with a number on her back due to injury. But she is here supporting her Cavan teammates, and both of them have headed to the dressing room. It's been a fine display, you'd have to say, but Cavan, you just feel that their quality on the ball seems to be that little bit better.
Yeah, probably their shot choice up front and their use of the ball up front has been a little bit better than Roscommon's at the far end. As you said, Roscommon just forcing themselves maybe to take the wrong option or shooting on the back foot from out on the sideline, you know, scores that you won't get on any given day, and certainly not in a National League final. Whereas on the other side, Cavan seem to have been able to work the ball through the lines and through the player in the better position on different occasions, and have certainly got more from that than they have than Roscommon have at the far end.
But Roscommon, it's the wide count that's killing them, and then also let's maybe factor the save by Laura Bambrick to Da Vinci getting inside. You know, Nicola Crean, Leah Rowe, they got 1-10 between them in the semi-final. They haven't really got a sniff of open play though from the Cavan defence, but you'd have to credit Bambrick for the save as well. Yeah,
and she's been called on a lot in that first half. You know, she's had a lot to deal with, and a couple of dropping balls in at the crossbar, and you know, possessions and clearances that have gone to players out the field. So you know, Roscommon are asking questions up front, but maybe they just need to, you know, a couple of ones on occasions there. Even the Cavan goal, it swung from a chance that they had right at their own end, worked the whole way up, and it bounced lovely for Sinead McKenna at the far side. And as I said, the pass looked a little bit behind her, but credit to
Niamh
Keenan in on the end of it, did really well to get it and finished it lovely along the ground and just past Michaela Fallon.
Yeah, Michaela hadn't a whole lot, but Niamh was able to pirouette lovely and roll off the Cavan defender there to be able to put that ball in the back of the net. As we said, it's a bit like the Keenan show anyway, because they have a goal and 3 points of Cavan's 5, the other 2 coming from Ciara Finnegan. How important have Ciara Finnegan and Niamh Keenan been to this Cavan team coming back into the setup? Weren't named to start because they didn't start against Mayo, but here starting today, and have, as I said, made a hell of a difference since they come in. They've got a goal and 2 points between them. From a Roscommon point of view, the points have come from Rebecca Brennan, Kelly Hopkins and Leah Rowe from 2 place balls. But you would feel now that Roscommon, just before we break to give our vocal cords a little bit of a break, Elaine, you feel Roscommon need to get off to a bit of a start now here after half time, don't they?
Yeah, you know, if they let Cavan get too much further ahead, they're chasing the game, and often when you're chasing the game like that, it's hard. You're trying to force maybe a major score, a goal or something at the far end, and look, as we said, it's hard to create something on any given day, but when you're chasing a game and trying to force a big score, often, you know, you get caught on the counter attack, and we've seen Cavan so well able to punish when they do get the break and get the overlap. They are able to finish at the far side. So look, for Frank Brown and his management team, they'll want Roscommon to come out of the traps straight after half time, get a point or 2 on the board, get within touch and distance of Cavan again, and then it's all to play for.
Yeah, and the second half seemed to have been strong performances from both teams in their previous games, so wait and see what happens in the second half here. The voice there of Elaine Aylward. It is the Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final between Cavan and Roscommon. It is the Nancy Murray Cup champions of 2020 who are in front though against the ladies from Roscommon. It is of course Cavan then at half time that lead here with one hand on the Division 4 Cup, which sits in front of us here in our commentary position. It is Cavan 1-5, Roscommon 4 points. Rejoin us shortly.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression. We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
And you're welcome back to Glennon Brothers Pierce Park here in Longford. In my hands is the Ann Naughton Cup that will be granted to the champions of Division 4. Will it be Cavan? Will it be Roscommon? Well, we'll find out in the next half an hour thereabouts. The president of the Camogie Association, Hilda Breslin, is here with us. She's worked up the miles nearly as good as our Elaine Aylward this weekend, but she's here to present this trophy before heading for Croke Park later on. So in about 40 minutes time or thereabouts, it'll be a Cavan or Roscommon hands that will be on this trophy. So that all to play out for. Elaine, we're going to bring you in on camera here and just have a quick word then for the second half of people at home watching. You know, if you're Frank Brown, you're in the dressing room, what are you telling his charges to do?
Probably just a little bit more composure up front. I think they've had plenty of possession, but they've just maybe panicked a small bit on the ball, taken shots that weren't on, dropped a lot of ball in around Bambrick's goal. You know, if they can convert even half of what they've had up there, they'll certainly put themselves in a fighting position to get close to Cavan. And at the back, you probably want them to tighten up a small bit. You know, they've been tight enough, but they're coming under savage pressure from the Cavan forwards, and you know they probably need to have a little bit more composure back there as well and work the ball out maybe a little bit better to give their midfielders and their forwards then a bit more of a chance up front.
Would there be a scenario then that if you're Frank, you're also asking your half forwards to work a little bit harder, because there's maybe a scenario where Cavan are getting out that little bit easier?
Yeah, certainly I think they are, and that's where a lot of the Cavan attack is being launched from. Maybe Galligan at centre back and Rose McKeever here in front of us. You know, they've come out with a lot of ball, been fouled on a lot of ball, and it's just given Cavan that little bit of momentum going forward. Whereas if Roscommon can hold them up a little bit in their own half of the field, maybe play a bit of ball in that half of the field. You know, we've seen them create a couple of half chances and gotten in on the end of a couple of half chances, and they forced a couple of handling, you know, mistakes out of Bambrick inside as well. So they certainly have the potential up there. Just probably a little bit more composure and work maybe a little bit harder in their forward line.
Looking at it with regards to Roscommon, you know, who have a 4-point deficit to make up. If you're Cavan, you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I think so, and they're breaking really well. I think that's what's really impressive about them. When they do break from defence at the back, they're able to create stuff up front. You know, they're working off the shoulders. Sinead McKenna's goal was a classic example of, you know, an absolute against the run of play, I suppose. Cavan or Roscommon had been on the attack. Cavan broke it up. McKenna broke onto a lovely ball, hop lovely for her, and then they had the overlap inside that allowed them to go on and create that goal.
Conditions, as we know, you don't win your matches or whatever, but there seems to be a little bit of a swirl down in the town end of the ground here, and that is against Cavan in this second half. So maybe Roscommon will exploit the other end where Cavan seemed to do in that first half. Yeah,
I think, as you said, conditions never won a game for anybody, but it's certainly a little bit of an advantage even from puckouts and things like that. So, you know, as I said, Roscommon will be looking to get up into that Cavan half of the field and play a bit more camogie there this half.
Right, the views of Elaine here for this half-time break. Then Roscommon are out on the field. We're waiting on Cavan. We'll take a quick break, rejoin us in a couple of seconds.
Our game's about style. We forge our own path forward. Because our style is substance.
So welcome back here to Glennon Brothers Pierce Park. As you see, Cavan coming out onto the field of play. One change on the Roscommon team, as we kind of alluded to just before the break, that Shauna Fallon was being spoken to by Frank Brown. Well, she is on the way in. The Four Roads player is replacing Leisha Lenahan, who had come into the team for the off, and she's been replaced. Don't see any change on the Cavan setup. I'd say Jimmy Greville happy enough so far, as Aaron Hogg, then the Clare official, having a look at both ends, getting ready into this game. And ball thrown in there. Rachel Fitzmaurice, she thought about having a swing at it, and the referee, I think, was a little bit too close. As breaking out then with this opportunity is Ciara Finnegan. Got 2 vital scores that first half. Giving it off here now to Shanice Fitzsimons, the Maynooth University player has coming on to that charge and break now. Niamh Keenan got the goal, looking to take it away there from Niamh Watson, having a shot off, and it's over the bar, and it's exactly what Jimmy Greville would have wanted.
Super score there for Cavan, as you said, just stretches their lead again, but again really well worked when they broke from the middle of the field. They were attacking numbers, Shanice Fitzsimmons, and then a lovely ball across, favoured the corner forward over there, and did really well to win possession and swing it over the bar.
Goal on the point now for her as the ball breaks over on the far side, and it's Shauna Fallon, who's just in, Four Roads player, playing it down along the wing now, trying to charge on here. Rebecca Brennan. Rebecca putting the head down and looking to come inside in a diagonal run, looking to hold off the attentions there of Isha O'Reilly, but Riley gets back, but Brennan gets up and still going here, looking to play a ball back. It's going to be advantage for Roscommon here. It's going to have a shot off is Nikki Crean, but referee is calling it back for the free, and a chance for Roscommon to maybe settle into this second half.
Yeah, and a good response for them. Won the puck out, got the ball straight up the field, and a huge battle going on there between Rebecca Brennan and Eilish O'Reilly, and Brennan coming out on the better of it on that occasion, but that's more of the pressure up front, I suppose, that Roscommon will want to see putting on the Cavan backs.
The free to come then from Leah Rowe, already got 2 points to her name into the scoreboard end here, doesn't connect with it at all. Well, that's a let off for Cavan there, there's no question about it. Rowe looking to get onto it again. Nerve maybe is a factor, might be there. Roscommon looking to win this ball back, but referee wasn't too far away there from the play, and well, a little bit of cuteness and a little bit of stupidity maybe in some ways, just committing that foul there in close quarters to the referee, and there was no doubt about it with Rachel, or I should say Josephine Maguire being fouled, and it's going to be a free out when she picks herself up there. That was a missed opportunity. Yeah,
a missed opportunity from the free initially, and then again a missed opportunity to give away, as you said, a handy enough free there, and let Cavan clear their defences. If you juxtapose that, I suppose, to what the Cavan forwards were doing in the first half, they were working hard back there and making Roscommon work really hard for their clearances. On this occasion, the Roscommon forwards, as you said, just giving away the easy free and an easy clearance for Cavan, and it gets the ball back up into that half of the field again.
Ball down, breaking here with Rachel Dolan. But, trying to come out with it there was Niamh Watson. Referee says there was a foul committed by Shanice Fitzsimons. Was it? No. Actually it was, I was just waiting there. I thought he was calling back Niamh Watson, but yeah, Shanice Fitzsimons has just got her name checked in the book anyway. Free then going to be taken here for Roscommon by Shauna Fallon. Knocked it up here towards Leah Rowe. Look, we have now a little bit of shelter where we are, because the sun is absolutely beating down here in Longford. I'd say touching the 20-degree mark. As Fallon tries to get on this ball, but in there trying to disrupt it as well was Clodagh Keenan. Ball gets forward in here for Roscommon as they try to get on here with Coyle. But it's cleared away there by Erin Galligan over to the far side of the field. It goes then towards Ciara Finnegan. But winning it well there was Rachel Fitzmaurice. Fitzmaurice looking to get inside, has an advantage here. Steps left, steps right, and eventually advantage was being played.
Yeah, super play from Fitzmaurice there. A lovely rob, clearance from Galligan coming across the field. Looked to be heading in the direction of Finnegan, but really well read and intercepted, as you said, by Fitzmaurice, and drove at the Cavan defence and did really well to win a free for herself. And I suppose looked to play on maybe, but happy to take the free now, and a chance for, I think, is it Shauna Fallon taking the free over on the left hand side?
She having to strike off at this and puts it over the bar. She got a free against Tyrone in the semi-final, and she's come on here now and she's scored a free in this encounter. Makes it 1-6 to 5 points here. And Roscommon, something needs to happen for them quickly, and maybe it's going to happen with Niamh Watson getting away from the attentions of the Cavan players around her. Needs to find a spare player, flicks it into the full forward line nearly, but it's been well read back there by the Cavan fullback Aideen Coyle, and she's been urged on by the fans over to her left hand side. Great to see a crowd here back again in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park, is coming on it here and trying to build on a Finnegan, looking to flick the ball inside. Was Keenan to Finnegan. Finnegan now flicks it on again. Opportunity might break. Looked like it getting away. Might have been a foul being committed on the Cavan full forward in there, but it's going to be cleared by Niamh Farrell. Out into the middle it goes, trying to read it there. Lauren Ellis, ball breaks though in favour of Roscommon. Crowd urging them on here. You can feel the atmosphere building off the terraces, bedecked in sunshine, everyone in good form, good humour. Who's going to be cheering the most at the end? Will it be Cavan? Will it be Roscommon? At the moment it's Cavan that lead 1-6-5. Ball into the hand and into the middle of Josephine Maguire. The Ballina player is a shot. That is a fine score, one of the scores of the game. Cavan just patient enough in the build-up, recycle the ball. She was in the right place, pops it over from distance.
Yeah, super score from distance, and as you said, just really, really patient work from Cavan. Huge pressure on the Roscommon backs, and turned over the ball and worked it through the hands to get it to the right player. And super shot from Maguire out around the middle of the field. And look, that's what we spoke about, I suppose, about Cavan just being that little bit more economical up front.
Shanice Fitzsimons, of course, was involved in that play, but Josephine Maguire was the one that got it over the bar. She was the one that got a point in the semi-final. She's a point here today, and a good score as well for the Ballina player. Brings Cavan on to 1-7. Roscommon on 6 points. Ball going to break. But it's referee said, I think he's going to throw it in there. It was all getting a little bit too messy. So it says 1-7-6 on the scoreboard here on the ground, but it is 1-7-5. Roscommon with only 1 point in this second half. Ball goes out to the sideline over there, and it's going to be a Roscommon ball. So this is the Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final. And Cavan are the ones that are in front. 2020 was some year for them. And at the moment, it looks like 2021 is starting to build up to be one as well. It's Roscommon looking to charge forward, but that was well read there. A combination of Niamh Keenan and Rosie Cromakeever. But Roscommon look like they've won it back. Good play there by Joanne Beattie, looking to play the ball into the corner now. Roscommon needs something to happen quickly, you would feel. And what that means, I don't know, but a couple of points or maybe a goal. As we said, the sun's beating down here. Bit of Whiteheath Championship action on the field of play and also on the terraces here now, Elaine.
Yeah, it certainly is heating up all over the grounds here, and I don't know, did anyone predict this kind of weather for Sunday? But look, it's massive, and as I said, the weather even bringing the championship feel to the whole occasion.
So change on the Roscommon team. So number 21, Sinead O'Brien, is in for 14. Sinead back in the Roscommon setup as well. Got a point the last day. Ball goes on along the far side. Frank Brown hoping maybe that Sinead O'Brien and Shauna Fallon, two that he's brought in, will reignite Roscommon hopes in this game. They trailed by 5 points, 1-7-5.
Nadine Coyle there at full back for Cavan has been coming out on top of those last couple of battles there. She's come out with 2 great balls and looked to play a lovely bit of hurling up the field. So, you know, Roscommon maybe just looking to try and make some inroads up there.
And it might work out this time because speedy corner forward play here now at the moment by Niamh Riley. Going to have a shot, but that's a great block there by Niamh Farrell. Ball works out though again. It's going to be McKenna. McKenna flicking it back out here. Shot going to come in from centre forward. Fitzsimons, but she's pulled it to the left and wide. And we haven't said a wide ball too often for Cavan here today, but good defensive play there by Roscommon.
Good defensive play from Roscommon again, but as they got the block in there, it was Sinead McKenna again who got in on the break and looked to create something and, you know, just making life hard for Roscommon there at the moment.
Picked up again there now by Fitzsimons, going to play the ball inside. Got to be aware! Michaela Fallon, I don't know, was dithering over on the far side, maybe thinking the play was gone out. She was checking something and all of a sudden the ball was being flighted towards the goal. I don't think Fitzsimons meant it, but it could have been calamitous.
Yeah, Fallon I think just still changing back the hurl from the puck out on the last occasion and probably wasn't expecting it to come back in as quick, but super ball in from Fitzsimons. Maybe saw her off the line and chance floating one in, but luckily for Roscommon it was to the left.
2 wides, a quick succession though for Shanice Fitzsimons. It remains 1-7-5. as trying to get back there now and win this ball is Josephine Maguire. Back helping out the defence, but cutting it out here now is Shauna Fallon. Fallon with a point to her name already, looking to pop the ball inside. Good crossfield ball, but who'll come onto it and need someone maybe to just take a chance on it. Ball breaking in there, could still work out. It's getting inside. Rowe looking to have a shot off here, Leah Rowe, but the referee says she fouled the ball, and it's going to be a free out. The Roscommon crowd not happy with that because Leah Rowe is on the ground, but he judges that she overplayed the ball somehow.
Yeah, and from a Roscommon point of view,
Dropping
more
the hurl,
importantly, she's on the ground inside in the big square there, so Roscommon certainly would have been looking to get something maybe out of that, but Shauna Fallon has made a huge impact since half-time, you know, as you said, got that 1 point from a free, but has been involved in a lot of the play and is getting a lot of ball in there, and, you know, Roscommon, you just feel if they could get a little bit more in there, then maybe they could try and create something.
I think we're just getting verification of the scoreboard and everything. But we have it in our notes anyway as 5. It's still on the scoreboard here at 6, but we'll worry about that maybe in a minute as at the water break, as chance coming forward. This water break could be vital for both teams here. Simons was trying to play that ball in, but was coming back there playing well, and the referee is now running inside. Is he going to go to his umpires there? I think he's checking. Is he checking the score just to be sure? I'd say he is looking by, he's talking to his umpire. We have it at 5 anyway, and everyone else in the press box has it at 5 here, so just being sure, I suppose. Yeah. Puck out to come then, or I should say the free. Ball breaks and it's picked up and taken very, very well by Leah Rowe. Rowe looking to step onto it now, top of the D, looking to get inside Galligan. She's still going, drops the ball though, and eventually it's clear there and just hacked away by Aideen Coyle. Still coming Roscommon though. Crean looking to get in on this opportunity. Ball is going to drop in. It's a dangerous enough ball. The hop though works out and into the hands of Laura Bambrick. She has time to step out onto that. The Kilkenny-born woman now ensconced in Cavan, playing with Castletara, of course. Her sister Miriam will be playing for Kilkenny later on in the Division 1 finals. Here come Cavan now. This will be a major score. If McKenna puts it over the bar, that could be a game winner.
Yeah, and again, that's just that quick turnaround and Cavan hitting you on the counter-attack. You go from a situation where Roscommon could have had a score at their end. Super stop by Bambrick, great ball out, won brilliantly in that half-forward line and worked the player in the right position, and no better player than McKenna to put it over the bar.
So 1-8 now to 5 points it is. This game might be getting away from Roscommon. They are going toe-to-toe with Cavan. They're just not turning it into scores at the other end of the field. And Cavan taking it on here now with Claudia Keenan again. She's fouled, says the referee. It's a little bit of a high challenge there. And crisis averted now. It's all sorted out on the scoreboard here on the ground. And we were all correct and right as this free is going to be taking place. So number 14, Orla Smith, is going to be replaced by Elaine Brady in the next couple of minutes for Cavan. We're heading towards the water break as well. But there's an air of inevitability now about this. If this goes over the bar, Cavan definitely putting the second hand maybe on this cup as this ball goes up and over the bar. Claudia Keenan, that's her 4th point of the game. Bringing on to 1-9 here. A substitution then taking place. Orla Smith has been replaced. As this ball drops long, but it doesn't work out there for Leah Rowe, and it's well read by Quiva Clark. You'd have to credit Quiva Clark in lots of ways, Elaine, because Leah Rowe was coming in with 1-7 to her name from a semi-final, and she's played very, very well against her.
Absolutely. I think a lot of the Cavan defenders, but certainly Quiva Clark, has followed her all over the field and has covered every blade of grass out there today for a corner back, but is certainly doing a right job on Leah Rowe in there.
Ball was knocked in there by Anya O'Mara, who seems to be moved up into the forwards now, having played at wing back in the first half with that positional change that took place in the break. But all of a sudden, missing in the middle of Roscommon and charging forward here again now is Sinead McKenna, popping it off. Roscommon full of running, settling on this ball. The goal scorer, Niamh Keena, dropping it in and dropping it over the bar. She's got 2 in quick succession, and it's starting to lengthen out.
Yeah, and it's starting to just flow a little bit easier for Cavan again, isn't it? You know, as we said, that came all the way from Caoimhe Clark there, playing at left half back, got out in front of row, knocked it on, and Cavan worked it the whole way up the field. And again, McKenna on the end of it, got it to the player in the better position, a super score again. And, you know, they just stretched their lead now to 8 points. And you feel the water break will just, you know, once they get in now for the water break and maybe settle down again and get going for the final 15 minutes, it's certainly a higher mountain now for Roscommon to climb.
Yeah, just haven't taken their chances here in that first quarter of the second half. They've only got 1 point. It came from a long range free, have had a couple of chances, but nothing really clear cut of lane. And, you know, just around the middle now, Cavan are completely dominant. Roscommon seem to have just gone missing around that middle, and it's allowing the likes of McKenna and Fitzsimons just to make hay there.
Yeah, and it comes to a point in the game, I suppose, where Roscommon have to push on now at some stage and try and get something on the scoreboard at their end. And when you do that, we've seen Cavan hit them on the counter twice or three times. It resulted in the goal in the first half, a super point there just before the water break. So, you know, it's twist or bust, I suppose, for Roscommon at this point. As you said, if they push forward, they leave it open at the back, and when you have the players the calibre of Finnegan and Keenan and Fitzsimmons and McKenna in that half forward line, you know, they're going to create opportunities. And as we've seen, the radar is certainly in for them today. They haven't had too many wides, and they're able to take their scores from out the field. So huge 15 minutes coming up for Roscommon now to get back into this.
Let's take a 30-second break then here from Glennon Brothers Pierce Park and hear from our sponsors.
Our game's about style. We forge our own path forward. Because our style is substance.
Welcome back. Glennon Brothers Pierce Park, and it is the final quarter of this intriguing Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final between Roscommon and Cavan. But just before the water break there, points from the two Keenahans, and Sinead McKenna sandwiched in the middle has really opened up that gap. 3 points on the bounce makes it 110-5, and well, it looks like 2020 finished off so well for Cavan. 2021, I know we're into June at this stage, it's mad to say I was starting 2021, but I suppose when you're capturing the league title, it'll be something nice to start, as you said, as you head into championship. There's a shot coming off again from Ciara Finnegan, I think it was this time, over on the far side, putting that ball over the bar.
And there's no danger of the momentum being broken for Cavan there with that water break. They started this break after the water break just as they finished the first one, and you know, really coming at the Cavan, are coming at the Roscommon defence now.
Yeah, it's rattling on here now, 1-11, and Roscommon, unfortunately for them, just seemed to have run out of ideas. I really needed someone to step up and, you know, maybe create a wall if you could there on that 45.
Yeah, and you can see it even from Michaela Fallon's puck outs. You know, she's taking her time with them. She's looking to find a player moving, but Cavan have every Roscommon move covered, and you know, there's no option for her, and she's forcing it then to just puck it, and it's Cavan that are coming out on top of it.
Ball played in there by Claudia Keenan, was gone out to the left and wide. Wide's not too much for Cavan here today, and that's obviously been a major factor. And you just would feel, Elaine, that maybe if Roscommon had taken points for half of the wides they had in the first half, this game might have had a different tale.
Yeah, they're still in the game right up until just after half time. You know, they were down at half time, but it was only the goal and the point that they were down, but they just haven't failed to make any inroads, and for any possession that they did have in that first half, they just never made a count on the scoreboard. Whereas you look at the other end, you know, you've spoken about the so few wides that Cavan have had. They have been clinical up front today, and that's really the difference at the moment.
Another free for Cavan, and this is now just scoring exercise for Claudia Keenan. Another free to her name.
Yeah, and you spoke about creating a wall there, and from these pockets at the moment it looks like Cavan that have created the wall on their half forward line, and they're winning everything, plucking it out of the sky and just pucking it back in towards Michaela Fallon's goal as quick as they can.
On this ball now is Sinead McKenna, going to play this ball forward, stepping in well. Josephine Maguire Maguire taking it in and pushing the ball on here now, and this is really putting Roscommon to the sword. Shanice Fitzsimons, who's had a fine game for Cavan, being involved in an awful lot, had a couple of wides there, could have had an audacious goal, has now put a ball over the bar.
Yeah, she's been involved in an awful lot of what has been good about Cavan up front, and running at that Roscommon defence all day. As you said, just rewards there now by getting on the scoreboard, but it really is a sea of blue at the moment from Cavan.
Sure, her mates in Maynooth University will be quite happy with Shanice's performance here today, is coming on the charge here now. Roscommon really need to hunt goals now at this stage, trying to break on there. Anya O'Mara, ball breaks, it might work out for Leah Rowe. Rowe looking to get this ball up and into her hand, but it's Erin Galligan again, always back there minding the house, being well capable, and has all the tricks of the trade of a defender. Gives the ball out here to Chloe White-Lennon, had a bit of a fly at it, but it was blocked down, and break is picked up, and there was a clash of the ash there, and also I think the impact maybe has injured Cavan player. Looked like it was Ciara Finnegan who's down getting a bit of attention. Referee just having a chat with Shanice Fitzsimons. I think she already had a ticking, so is she going to get a yellow card? She must have said something after that ball was cleared. I don't think there was any malice in the Roscommon player. It was just going for the ball, but just the impact, it seems to have knocked Ciara to the ground. Shanice wasn't too happy.
No, and I think it may have come from the play before that. She was chasing the Cavan player, or the Roscommon player, down the sideline, and the hurl just slipped up and made a small bit of contact with the helmet. So I think maybe the referee coming back with that, he had let the play develop and just came back to deal with it. But again, Cavan so solid in defence, as you said. Erin Galligan back there minding the house, always in the right place at the right time. You know, that's no coincidence. That's good reading of the play. And Caoimhe Clark outside her, and then worked the ball out to Ciara Finnegan.
Aaron Hogg now, the match official, going to talk to his umpires at the other end. Been impressed with Aaron's officiating here today, I have to say. And the newer referees on the block. And I think he's just checking out something with his officials.
Yeah, credit to him, you know, on any occasion where he's needed clarity, be it on the scoreboard or on a free, he's gone to his umpires, he's gone to his linemen and used his officials well.
He's elected to throw the ball in here after that situation there, which...
So I think Roscommon had the initial advantage that played out. Cavan broke up the attack, they won the free there, but he maybe was thinking about calling it back for the advantage, but elected then to hop the ball.
So on the break now is Shauna Fallon. Fallon, the only scorer for Roscommon in this second half. It was 1-5 to 4 points at half time, and they were very much in it as a shot going to come in from Leah Rowe, but that probably signifies Roscommon's stay. The wides early on killed them, but just they have been absolutely strangled by Cavan around the middle in the second half. Yeah,
and you have to give huge credit again to Caoimhe Clark. We mentioned her already, a cornerback, having a great game on Leah Rowe, but also outside her, Aisha O'Reilly has really had a super game as well, and both of them were involved there and just keeping the pressure on Leah Rowe and forcing that shot. And I suppose, you know, we spoke about maybe Roscommon taking the wrong shot options in that first half. Maybe it was the Cavan defending that was forcing them into it.
But the Cavan defending has been incredible in lots of ways. When you think that Roscommon full forward line got 111 between them against Tyrone of the 114, and they've just got 3 points today. Yeah,
they've absolutely nullified them, and you know, Aideen Coyle bursting out of defence at any given opportunity, and as I said, Caoimhe Clark and Lauren beside her have both had huge games, and they've really just knuckled down on that Roscommon full forward line and haven't given them a sniff of it.
Looks like Tina Riley from Lara is coming in, and Aisha O'Reilly is going to be the one replaced from Crosserlaw. There might be changes, I'd say, on both sides now as we head into the closing stages of this league final, which has, of the three that we've played so far, the only one that's had a kind of an inevitable result about it, because Cavan lead by 113 to 5 points. And this free coming from Claudia Keenahan, her chance to get her 6th point of the game. She's put it over the bar. And there is nothing wrong. She has an unusual style, stands for the free taking, but there is nothing wrong with it because it gets results.
It certainly does, yeah. I think she's had one wide maybe for today from one that was probably a little bit further out than she would have preferred, but everything else has been spot on, and you know, she's been involved in a lot of play, in general play as well, but I think when your free taking is in, your confidence is up, and she's certainly a player playing like that today.
Here's an opportunity now for Keenahan to come through. Well batted away, gets it on the second time. And it's a second goal for Cavan, and really putting the nails in the coffin now. You have to credit Michaela Fallon. She got the block on it, but just it fell straight back to Niamh Keenan, and she was able to tap it to the back of the net.
Yeah, and again, it was Roscommon struggling with their own puck outs. Won back by Cavan around the middle of the field, played in quick on the counter attack, and as you said, a great shot, great save from Michaela Fallon in the Roscommon goal, but it hopped lovely in front of Keenan, and no better player to finish it.
Have to get you to start thinking about a player of the match shortly, Elaine, for this Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final. Cavan, well, they now have two hands firmly on this cup up here right in front of us. And they look like they will be Division 4 champions and playing Division 3 Camogie next year. And judging by the resurgence in form and everything in Cavan, probably, just desserts.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's where any aspiring Camogie team or Camogie manager wants to get to, is to get through the grades and get playing the higher quality opposition. I suppose move up the divisions and give themselves realistic goals to aim to, and it's something certainly in Cavan at the moment with the momentum that's there, carrying on from Nancy Murray last year. Obviously has carried into the league this year, and they look to bring it into championship again and keep having Camogie on the up.
Cavan deal with that opportunity as it came forward again from Roscommon, and I just think the numbers that they're able to get back for Cavan, and then they're able to break as well in numbers, is something that has killed Roscommon on occasion in this heat and everything that's here now at Glennon Brothers Pierce Park. Fabulous summer's day here. It's a league final. It feels like championship as Fitzsimons comes in again on a narrow angle, puts the ball over the bar. She had the fist in the air before the ball had gone between the posts, but a fine score again from Shanice Fitzsimons.
Super score again, and it's their handling of the ball up front. They're able to take the passes at pace coming off the shoulder. That makes a huge difference, able to gain the really important yards there, and then they have the composure to finish it when they get the chance.
Here's an opportunity then for Sinead McKenna over on that far side. It's just come across the goal and out to the left and wide. Chance kind of big in there, but I don't think manager will worry too much about them. 2:15 to 5 points. We see Lorna Cahill from Crosserlaw, and also coming in is Emer Fitzpatrick from Kill. They're on in place of Niamh Riley is one, and it looks like Lauren Ellis is the other. Sideline ball over on the far side. And you can just see the body language. The heads have definitely dropped for Roscommon, haven't they? Yeah,
and again, Michaela Fallon really looking for the options there in that pocket. They just didn't come, and when they did, it was a low ball out to Joanne Beattie along the ground. Really difficult to control, and just to sum up Roscommon's day all over, it just rolled out over the sideline, and a chance now for Cavan again.
Number 18 for Roscommon, Shauna Hanley from Tulsk is on for Anya O'Mara, St. Dominic's. There's a ball played in from the sideline. Cavan looking to keep it motivated here and moving. This will sure a little bit dent of confidence ahead of championship for Roscommon. Cavan will be going in buoyed by everything that they've achieved as Fitzsimons onto this ball again. She's going to have a crack! Shanice Fitzsimons has just come into her absolute own on the scoring front anyway since the water break.
Yeah, and I was just looking at her beforehand to comment that her runs are endless. She's constantly making runs off the ball, constantly getting into good positions and giving options to the players on the ball, and hadn't got up onto the scoreboard maybe up until the last few minutes, but certainly, as you said, has stormed into it 1-2 there since half time.
Well, coming into this game, we factored it was going to be close, basing it on results. Probably we were using Tyrone as the barometer. There had been a 4-point victory for Cavan, 3-point victory for Roscommon against the women from the Red Hand County. But here today, Cavan, at half time, we were saying, maybe the conditions might turn for Roscommon a little bit. That wind might have been in favour of Cavan in the first half, 1-5-4. And, Roscommon have only hit a point. Cavan have just gone to another level.
Yeah, that 1 point from a free for Roscommon is all they could muster in the second half, and that's huge credit to the Cavan backs, that the pressure that they're putting on.
Advantage being awarded here to Leah Rowe as she tries to get inside, but the Cavan defence have been quite mean here today. Coming into today, Roscommon had scored 9 goals, and there's not a chance that was going to happen here today by the looks of things anyway. So mean of the Cavan defence being. And there's a ball put up and over the bar. Scant consolation for Roscommon with that point scored there by Kelly Hopkins. think we saw something about 3 minutes of additional time being played with. I'll have to just check on that. Still time remaining as the ball over the far side goes wide from a long clearance by Cavan. As number 24 for Cavan, Carmel Faye from Castletara comes in. And she replaces number 2, Caoimhe Clark from Drumgoon. Caoimhe had a fine performance too.
Yeah, super 60 minutes, or almost 60 minutes I suppose, from Caoimhe there. As I said, did a real job on Leah Rowe inside in that Roscommon full forward line, and everywhere Leah went she was right there beside her and defended really well, and got on the end of a couple of let out plays, and set up the Cavan attack. And a lot of what Cavan have done that was good today came from their defensive unit there, I suppose, and how well they worked the ball out.
I'm sure she's one of the players you're considering, and I'd imagine our player of the match is going to be coming from the Cavan crew.
Yeah, certainly. I think they had the heroes all over the field today and some really, really standout performances.
So as we let Elaine pick our player of the match, will be awarded here just before the trophy is presented. It is the Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final. It's on the Littlewoods GA Twitter account and the Camogie Association YouTube channel. Don't forget later on the big one between Kilkenny and Galway. A repeat of the final a couple of years ago. And a repeat, of course, of the All-Ireland final. As Cavan break that ball out, but it's been returned and over the bar. And all of a sudden, Roscommon have got a few on the bounce. Rachel Fitzmaurice with that latest score.
Yeah, I suppose it's a little bit
7
of
points now for Roscommon.
consolation on the scoreboard maybe, and probably reminiscent of maybe Cavan just running the bench a small little bit.
That's it too, yeah. 3:15 Cavan have as the ball breaks again. Fitzsimon's trying to get in there. Keenan trying to get in there. Waiting on the break maybe to come back out. Orla Smith as well. Ball might turn, but it's Roscommon that have broken out with it now, and maybe they'd like to get a goal in the onion sack at the far end then, because as we mentioned coming into this, hadn't conceded too much either, but unfortunately in the final today I've conceded 3 as the ball breaks over on the far side for Sinead McKenna. Down into the corner it goes, and off the shoulder running there by Ciara Finnegan, looking to get inside the attentions of Niamh Farrell. Dropping the ball across. It's a dangerous ball. If Fitzsimons cuts onto it, has to be Farrell that's got to win this race, or Fallon as well. Ball is there. It's still there for Cavan, trying to keep it. Fitzsimons, that's a lovely bit of skill. Throwing the ball back out here now. Emer Fitzpatrick going to have a shot. Puts it up and puts it over the bar. It was a tight one, but Emer Fitzpatrick just on as a sub gets a fine score and gets her name on the score sheet in this league final that Cavan are going to win handsomely.
Yeah, and it was really well worked score again. Goal opportunity not made, but Cavan reacted quickest to it, recycled the ball really well. Again, got the ball to the player in the better position, and that player was capable of taking the score, and that's really been the difference today.
Shauna Fallon knocking this ball in now. Goals is what Cavan need, but it's Galligan again there, back clearing out. Ball over on the far side of the field. Sinead McKenna has had a big part to play in this game as well. Could be another candidate who we'll be thinking about for player of the match. Shanice Fitzsimons, I'm sure, will be considered as well. Erin Galligan, Caoimhe Clark, Niamh Keenan. I suppose when you score 2 goals in a league final, ball is played out here in the clearance. 3:16 to 7 points. And the referee says that Fallon was committing a foul there on Shanice Fitzsimons, and the Den player has been given a free, and opportunity here now for Claudia Keenan. We might get a zoom in close on Claudia here. This will probably be the last free we'll get to see. You just get to see her style. Hurl is up high, takes that kind of squat roll into it, looks out over the top of her left shoulder and sends it on its way towards that right hand upright. And we built it up, and
pure commentator's curse on the poor girl on that free. Look, I don't think she'll be too worried about that one, but she's been outstanding for them today for Cavan, and huge performance for her along with the rest of that half forward line.
Yeah, those half forwards have been very, very big for Cavan. You'd feel they caused an awful lot of the problems for Roscommon, and just unfortunately they overran the Roscommon half backs, and that's really what set matters up for this victory, you would feel. Ball is played inside now. McKenna, a lovely take by McKenna, stepping left and right, back onto her right hand side, going to have a shot, but the referee says she overplayed, and it's going to be a free out. But they ultimately across that line there again, they deciding this game.
Yeah, they've built that wall there from the Roscommon puck out in this second half, and Roscommon have really struggled to get out past it. Huge aerial press, you know, they've been able to take the ball, as I said, I mentioned before, off the shoulder and coming at speed, but straight out of the air. And look, as I say that, they're Clodagh Kenna with the ball up in their hand again, and huge. I think once you're able to win aerial possession like that, you're putting yourself in a really, really strong position, which Cavan ultimately were able to capitalise on.
Referee calling for this ball back then. On the scoreboard, as you can see, 3-16 to 7 points. Don't forget the big game this evening. Kilkenny and Galway throws in at 7:30. Elaine on commentary duty with Marty Morrissey on RT2. Helicopters on the ready at the back of the pitch here. But victory for Wexford, victory for Down. It's going to be victory for Cavan, and then who will be taking the Division 1 title later on. Busy weekend of Camogie action, and thankfully has been played in glorious weather on both days. Fabulous summer's day here in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park as Aaron Hogg calls a halt. It's done and dusted. Cavan, it was inevitable from after the water break. If you didn't think it was inevitable at that stage, just the way that Cavan kicked on to score 2-6 from the water break, I suppose it was inevitable. Heads were dropping and everything. It was just a factor then.
Yeah, and look, as I said, when you're struggling with your own puck out, which Roscommon were for long periods of that second half, like we saw Michaela Fallon down there looking for options, looking for outball to find one of her players outside, but all she was finding was Cavan hands, and they were coming at her in waves. And you know, as I said, when they did, then they were able to come off one another's shoulders, take possession really, really well, and take super shots from out the field. So you know, I think just their use of the ball in general over the air was probably a little bit better than Roscommon's, and ultimately they held on.
Looking at it then, Elaine, our player of the match, it's all going to come from the Cavan direction. Where do you think we'll ultimately pick it out?
Yeah, look, I suppose from the back out, I mean, Laura Bambrick had a lot to deal with in that goal on occasion and handled everything really well back there. We mentioned Caoimhe Clark in commentary, shadowed Leah Rowe's move on every move she made there today. Erin Galligan was a colossus at centre back, and Ciara Finnegan in the middle of the field, and I think that whole forward line, Clodagh Keenan, Shanice Fitzsimons, Sinead McKenna, and inside Niamh Keenan, you know, I could have picked any one of them, and in fairness, a lot of the scores that they got and they did create all came from great interplay between them all. But I think ultimately when you score 2 goals in a league final, I think you deserve to be player of the match. So number 29, Niamh Keenan, with 2-2 for Cavan today, was the standout player.
There you have it, Niamh Keenan, and alongside her sister had a fine performance here this afternoon in Glennon Brothers in Pierce Park. Congratulations to Cavan, goes up on the scoreboard here. What a few months it has been for them. Another national title. Jimmy Greville has probably got saying to it, I'd say, in Cavan at this point.
Freedom of Cavan, if such a thing exists, he certainly has it, I think. And you know, as you said, momentum is brilliant for getting players involved and getting the best out of players. And when you have a manager of the calibre of Jimmy there with his experience, I suppose, and look, he's been involved with Westmeath and his family involved with Westmeath, they know what it takes to build up from the lower levels to get teams up to a higher standard, and they'll be playing a division higher now in the league next year, and that's only bodes well for Cavan Camogie.
I'm sure it ultimately does. So we'll just take a break from talking here for just a second. We wait for everything to get into play. We'll be able to hear from both managements and hopefully our player of the match as well once the presentation has taken place. So don't go too far away. We'll have the presentation and those reactions all on the way shortly.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression.
I am the best.
We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way. Yes.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
So just bringing up Niamh Keenan here now at the moment. She's going to be presented with our player of the match with the Uachtaráin of Camogie Association, Hilda Breslin. So congratulations to Niamh Keenan. Picking all that up on camera. Thanks indeed to Niamh. We'll be able to hear her reaction shortly. We'll be hearing from Erin Galligan as well. She'll be on the way as captain of the Cavan setup to be presented with the trophy. So back here in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park, then Erin Galligan is on the way, but we're going to hand over presenting duties now to President of the Camogie Association, Hilda Breslin.
Thanks, Kenny.
Switch there. Should be on.
Thanks, everybody. It's brilliant to be here in the glorious sunshine. I'd really like to say a huge thanks to Longford GAA. It's a gorgeous venue and it's great to have it. We'd also like to thank in particular our sponsors, Littlewoods. They've been brilliant all for the league. They're really putting women's sport on the map, and we really appreciate all they've done. I'd like to thank Aaron Hogg and his match officials. They had a great game, so they did. Well done, Aaron. And in particular, I'd like to thank both Louise and Catherine for all the work they've done today here in the ground. So thanks to both of them. It was a wonderful occasion here. It's great to be back in Camogie. It's wonderful to play our leagues in the great glorious sunshine. The bright days are back and we're back with a bang. We'll go straight into championship now, and I know and wish both teams best of luck in the championship. Cavan, you were absolutely outstanding. You've been outstanding last year, you were outstanding again, and you've laid down a marker for the Premier Junior Championship to start. So well done. Roscommon, I know you'll regroup and you'll rebuild and you'll be back because you're fine hurlers and you come from a fine hurling tradition. So we'll see you very shortly back up here again. I'd like to present the cup to the Cavan captain. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Say a few words.
Great, thank you. Firstly, I'd like to say commiserations to Roscommon. I suppose it was a tough game for the start, and I suppose we got that goal and we rallied on. Half time came and we pushed on from there, and we never looked back. But Roscommon, we know he's a ferocious side. We knew coming here that we were going to have to play at our best, and we were near at our best today. So, and that's what it took for us to perform today. So 3 cheers to Roscommon. Hip hip, hip hip, hip hip, and hopefully we'll be meeting each other later on in the year. Just to our own management team, Jimmy Greville, Jim Bob Baker, Marie Brady, Seamus Shorten, and Lauren, thank you so much for everything you've put into us this year, for your hard work and dedication and time and effort that has gone into every training session, every challenge and everything you've done. We hope that we can continue on now and prepare for the real deal later on in the summer, so thanks for that. To the county board, Michelle Smith and everybody that rallies in behind her, thanks a million for all your support and everything you provide for the girls over the year. It's much appreciated. We've never wanted for anything, and we hope you continue to support us as we go on through the summer. Just a special word as well to Roisin O'Keefe, wishing her a speedy recovery. She's a stalwart for Cavan ladies and for Cavan Camogie over the years, and this one's for you, Roisin. And to all the match officials and everyone today, thank you. To Donald Briarty, our physio, there's a few aches and pains around the place. I'd say a bigger headache than anybody, but thanks a million for always looking after us. And we'll enjoy this one, and we'll get back to work during the week for the big one later on. Thank you. Woo!
Right, you're welcome back here to Glennon Brothers Pierce Park, and as you can see there behind the camera is Aaron Galligan. Aaron, I'll just get you to step back that direction if you don't mind, because we just want to keep all health and safety regulations and everything if you want. Aaron, you know, coming here today, you would have expected a tough encounter with Roscommon. You got that, but I suppose maybe just your legs, your ability got you over the line ultimately after that water break in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we knew coming here that we were up against a tough opposition. We had known that Roscommon had gained a few players back that maybe lost over the years, so we knew that we'd have to nullify those players and work and continue to work on our game plan. And now we found it hard in the beginning. The challenge was massive. I suppose we just weren't finding the space like we were. Our running game wasn't working for us in the beginning, but we kept at it. The girls were absolutely relentless. The work rate was top notch. Their attitude and everything at half time was just keep doing what we're doing. If we're working hard, then the scores will come. And I think it showed there in the second half. Everyone worked hard, and they found their flair. The running game worked. Neve was incredible. McKenna out in that wing. There's so many players just stood up today and worked. And yeah, it was a joy to play. Actually, it was a joy to finish out. Yeah.
The last few months, Aaron, for you, are you getting fed up playing in national finals and winning titles?
No, never. We've went long enough with nothing, so we're just going to take everything.
Looking at it though as well, how important is this step up now? Winning the Nancy Murray last year obviously took you a step. This is maybe taking you another notch to maybe keep your development going, because you obviously feel that you can contest and win a Premier Junior title.
Yeah, exactly. We knew for Cavan Camogie that this was a massive step. It's not just a league title for us, it's progression. From starting as a new team last year, we know that we need to every year be improving and gaining a step, and for us to go up to Division 3 and play amongst those teams next year, that's where we want to be. We want to be against the tough teams. We want to be getting the challenges, and we want to be tested and see how we respond to massive tests. And thankfully next year we'll be up against the tougher teams in Premier Junior and see where we go.
Final thing to you, you mentioned that you'll be back to work during the week. You might give them a few days to celebrate this, will you?
Oh, we'll be celebrating surely, but we might be back into work as well. We'll combine the two.
Well, Aaron, I know they're waiting for you down there, so we'll let you down with the cup. Great, and we'll bring in our player of the match. Thanks indeed. Aaron Galligan giving us our views, and congratulations on the victory. And we'll bring in, of course, Niamh Keenan. Niamh, you were awarded player of the match. We'll just get you behind that microphone if you don't mind, Niamh. You know, fine performance from yourself individually, but great performance from the team.
Yeah, brilliant performance from the team, and I suppose definitely have to thank all the girls for they put in all the hard work that allowed me to get the scores over. They made the runs, and I don't think they ever get enough credit for that. And the work behind the scenes and everything, it's just so good.
You yourself obviously have been combining both codes in the last few weeks. It's nice though to get into a national final and obviously put your own mark on it as well.
Yeah, look, it's very tough playing both. I think all the 7 duels out there know the situation, but last week a few of us had to commit to football, and the girls really stepped up, and that's why we're here today. They stepped up for us all and allowed us to play today.
Well, I'll let you off there to not miss out on too much of the celebrations. Well done to our player of the match, Niamh Keenan, scoring here and kicking up 2-2 as well in this encounter this afternoon. So all to still play out here at Glennon Brothers in Pierce Park. As you can probably see, the Cavan girls quite happy. We'll be hearing from manager Jimmy Greville, and also we hope to get a bit of reaction from Frank Brown as well. It's going to be obviously hard, I would imagine, after that defeat here this afternoon, but I'm sure Frank, well, he'll be thinking about picking the boots up and getting charging again for the next stages of the Premier Junior Championship, of course, which is not too far away, only a few weeks now to gather the thoughts and get going. But congratulations to Aaron Galligan, who is our captain there at the Cavan setup, and to Niamh Keenan as well, who picked up 2-2, and what a performance she had, especially in that second half, that ultimately was to play a factor along with Shanice Fitzsimons in securing this big victory for Cavan here today by 3-16 to 7 points. We're just going to take a quick break then here from Glennon Brothers Pierce Park, and we'll get reaction from both managers shortly.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
All the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression.
I am the best.
We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
And you're back here in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park, and the face you see is the happy face of Jimmy Greville. Jimmy, describe that. How are you feeling?
That's unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like, what a performance. You know, I said it to you at the start of the game. Like, we were concentrated solely on performance. You know what I mean? Like, and like I there at the water break at the second half. I thought it was a free. I couldn't been 15 minutes already. It was just end-to-end stuff with them. You know, they wanted it in the dressing room. Like, when I walked in there at half time, there wasn't a word. They were like, we've more to do here. We were only have to go on 3 steps, and there's a lot more to go. Like, you know, but they're happy. You know, it was a great performance.
Great performance. Just take us through the game a little bit, because it was still very much in the melting pot, even at half time. Obviously, the goal maybe a vital factor to just give you a little bit of breathing space.
Oh, definitely. Oh, we needed it. You know, like we knew coming down that, you know, like with the team that Roscommon have and the players that they've added to it, you know what I mean, that every time we broke to 45, we had to punish them and we had to get a score. You know what I mean? Like, and I think, like somebody told me, we'd only 4 wides in the entire game. Like, you know what I mean? Like we worked hard on it and stuff like that. But like, it's a credit to them. You know, like, they stuck to the game plan. Like, they knew what they had to do. They knew they had to close down who they had to close down. Once you stop 2 or 3 of the Roscommon players, you know what I mean, they weren't going to feed it into their forwards where the real danger was, and that's what we did. And then when we turned it over, we had to punish them, and we did that.
Yeah, just thinking of 2 lines on your field. Your full back line, who closed down a Roscommon forward line that got 110 in the semi-final, and then your half forward line that ultimately just crowded out like Roscommon defence when they were trying to clear, and were able to chip in with, I just look at the tally here, but a fair number of scores themselves.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like, you know, like we set a goal for the team. Like, we try at all possible when we go out. We've targets to hit, you know what I mean, and the targets for the 6 backs is keep their player scoreless from play. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to concede frees and you're going to concede scores, but try and not make it be from play, and then you're always in with a chance then, you know. But we work hard. Like, the first line of defence is your full forward line, you know, and that's the way you have to look at it. Going, if you turn the ball over as quick as you can, you know, in the forward line, you're helping out your backs so they don't have to work as hard, you know. And like, they're all in it together, like, you know what I mean, and they work hard, and you see some of the spray in the ball and stuff like that. I said it here coming off, you know, the grass was a bit long, but thankfully we had the ball in the hand a good bit. We didn't have to use the ground ball too much, you know.
1-9 from that half forward line, 2-2 from Niamh Keenan as well. She's our player of the match, you know, also as well. Just, you know, a key moment she stood up as also.
Definitely. Like Niamh is phenomenal. Like, she's a massive addition to us from last year. Like, you know what I mean. Like, if we had her against Armagh last year, it could have been a completely different story. Like, you know. But still, like, she chipped in there with the 2-2. But like, what did she set up? You know what I mean. Like,
absolutely.
with her runs and her Everton, and like, some people are forgetting, you know, to get player of the match today and to put in, you know, 59 minutes for the football yesterday. You know what I mean. And like, it's exceptional. Herself, Sinead McKenna and Ciara Finnegan were the 3 girls that played, and then there were still 3 other girls on the bench yesterday for the football as well. Like, it's massive. Like, it was a massive turnaround. Like, to put in a performance like Niamh did yesterday and today, and to get the rewards. Like, it's exceptional. You know.
Finally, Jimmy, a fine shot in the arm now ahead of the Premier Junior Championship for you.
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, like, it's, again, you know what I mean. We're out next Saturday against Tyrone in the Ulster Championship. So we've, as I said to them out there in the huddle, we're after marking off the league. Okay, we're after setting our goals. We achieved them. Now on to Ulster, and then when Ulster is over, we'll turn our attention to the Junior Premier, and hopefully hopefully we'll go one step further.
Well, we wish you the best luck. Congratulations, Jimmy.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
joining us.
Thanks a million, guys.
Jimmy
Thank
Greville
you.
then giving us his views there on the match. We're going to call in Frank Brown now and commiserate with Frank. Thanks, Jimmy, for what few words he gave us there. And Frank just coming forward now, giving us his views and opinions. Frank, probably a chastening enough defeat in the end.
Yeah, that's probably a fairly polite way of putting it. We were beaten well, we were beaten fair and square. There can be no excuses. You know, Cavan are excellent. They've probably been from underage level. They've been building a team there probably for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and you can see that in them. They're running, their movement off the ball, their hurling, their ability. You know, they're going to go to Division 3 and they're going to hold their own in Division 3. There's absolutely no doubt, and it's Cavan's day, and fair play to them. For us, we go away. I suppose it's difficult to take the positives out of a hammering, but yeah, you have to go kind of try hang your coat on something. And I suppose what really showed for me in our performance today, we kind of hurled as 15 individuals, and every one of the girls tried as hard as they could, but we tried as 15 individuals, while Cavan had a collective of 15, and to me that was the difference, and fair play to them. So I've no excuses, but I suppose the big challenge for Roscommon and for us now is, you know, how do we react to this? You know, we've about a month of championship now. We go away, you know, we'll have a couple of beers, and we'll lick our wounds for a day or two, and then, you know, as the guy famously says in the movie, either you heal as a team or you die as individuals, and I certainly have no intention of dying as an individual. So we go away, we work hard, we knuckle down, and we go again.
And that's ultimately all you can do, because you come in with good performances, Frank. So, you know, probably to take positives out of that, you were toe to toe with Cavan. Getting to half time, the goal probably was a little bit of a pinch on you going into the half time whistle, and you unfortunately probably just didn't react like you would have probably wanted them to react at the start of the second half.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I kind of thought at half time we're there or thereabouts. I thought kind of, you know, we had 5 or 6 poor enough wides in the first half, kind of a couple of balls bobbling around the square. We could have got on the goal. We kind of thought maybe we should have been around parity at half time, but sure, you know, maybe I should have stuck a feather in the ground and you grow a chicken kind of thing, you know, if only. But then Cavan came out in championship quarter. They probably scored 1-6, 1-7 without reply, and it was, you know, and it's not that I'm being defeatist, because I'm probably one of the most positive people around, but at that stage of the game it was a matter how much we were going to lose by, and because we're all sports people and we're all realistic, we all see the writing on the wall. We kept going, we kept working away. As I say, we know what we have to do. Is it a long road? Absolutely. Are we there for the long road? Absolutely.
And you still are obviously championship to look forward to, though, Frank, and obviously take some positives from the league campaign.
Oh, completely.
That's how you react to this now, as you say.
It's how we react, you know, and as I say, like it's all taking the positive. It's hard to take positive from when you get a hammering like that, but we'll go away, we'll have a look at videos, we'll decide where we want to go, and then look at these are proud people with a great hurling tradition and a great camogie tradition, and we just tap into that. That's what all the good teams do, you know. That's what Rome was never going to be built in a day. The first time we all met as a collective group was this day 2 months ago on the 20th of April, when we all escaped from kind of the first phase of the lockdown. So when we consider where we've come in 2 months, I'm just thinking if we can make the same progress in the next 2 months, you know what, we'll be thereabouts. And I know that sounds really, probably people are saying, you know, what kind of rubbish are you talking to? You're after getting a hammer, but we'll go away. We're not a bad team. Yes, there's issues we need to look at, and yes, there's things we need to work on, but we'll do that, you know, and we'll work quietly, and we'll be thereabouts.
I still feel we'll see you at some latter part of the summer, Frank, no doubts about that.
I really hope so.
Thanks indeed, Frank, for joining us. A tough defeat to take, but congratulations on being involved anyway here today, and best luck with the championship.
Thank you very much.
Frank Brown giving us his thoughts on the encounter here today. Frank, thanks indeed for joining us. So we'll wrap up here from Glennon Brothers Pearse Park, where I was joined by Elaine Aylward. She's headed off to Croke Park to get ready for the Division 1 final. You can catch all that on RT2. It throws in the programme from 7:20, match at 7:30. Best of luck to Justin Heffernan and his match officials in that encounter. It's Kilkenny against Galway, two teams that know each other quite well. It should be a cracking encounter. If you're doing nothing else, it's a glorious evening here. Where better maybe to turn on the TV, maybe have a little beverage with you and enjoy some of the best camogie action that you will see with Kilkenny and Galway in view. But here today it's been about Cavan. So there's 2 titles gone to Ulster, with Cavan and Down of course winning Division 4 and Division 2 respectively. Sandwich in there has been Wexford. Will it be heading to Connacht, or will it be staying in Leinster with the Division 1 title. Well, we'll wait and see how that all plays out, as we said, later on. With my thanks to Elaine, to Emma, to our recruit Aoife, and to Dave as well on how things have gone here in Glennon Brothers Pierce Park. This has been the Littlewoods Ireland Camogie League Division 4 final. It's glory, glory Cavan as Dave emerged here victorious against Roscommon 3-16 to 7 points. I've been Killian Whelan. We'll talk to you shortly. Hopefully that'll be with championship action. What a glorious day here in Longford. We'll see you soon. Good luck to you.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression. We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.